All right, it's just after 6. I'm Mark McIntyre, Chairman of the Southampton Village Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation. With me on Zoom, we have Board Member Jane Clare, we have Board Member Kathy Buxton, Board Member Quinn Popel, and Board Member Susan Stevenson with me. So with that, we have quorum, so I'm going to motion to open the March 23rd meeting of the Southampton Village Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is Jane on?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So the first thing on the agenda then tonight is a minute approval from March the 9th. Did everyone receive the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Any additions or corrections?
Nope.
Okay. Then I'm going to motion to approve the minutes from March 9th, 2023. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next up, we have written decisions. We have 3 tonight. The first one was 456 Old Town Road for Anthony Stilitano. Do you want to top line that for us, Council?
Yep. This is a certificate of appropriateness for exterior alterations to the unit.
Okay. Did everyone receive the written decision? Any questions or comments?
Nope.
Okay. So then I'm going to motion to approve the written decision for 456 Old Town Road. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is Jane in?
Yes.
Okay, is that an aye? Thank you, Jane. Next up is for 70 Main Street LLC at 70 Main Street. Is there a top line for us there, Council?
This was also a certificate of appropriateness for exterior alterations.
Okay. Everyone received the written decision?
Yes.
Any questions or comments?
No.
Okay. Motion to approve the written decision for 70 Main Street LLC. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the third one up is for 276 Hill Street.
This was a certificate of appropriateness for exterior alterations and a small addition.
Okay. Did everyone receive the written decision?
Yes.
Yes.
Any comments or corrections?
Nope.
Okay. Then I'm going to motion to accept the written decision for 276 Hill Street. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Before I go
Jane,
any
did you
fur-
vote on that one?
Pardon? Jane?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Jane. Before I go any further, also joining us tonight is our Planning Director, Alex Wallach. Our counsel tonight is Alice Cooley. Sage Certain is running video, and Jackie Allen is our recording secretary. All right, so that moves us to, we have no adjournment request, which is rare. So that will move us to the first carryover matter, which is signage, which is Bank of America. Did we receive any new materials from it?
I didn't note any. Is there anybody here from Bank of America?
Anyone here?
Either in person online?
Jane, did you? I did not receive any. Did you, Jane?
No, I did not.
Okay, so then we're just going to move on then. Okay, so the second, do we have a second signage request?
I believe there's a
Beachhead.
contractor.
Yes, Beachhead Contractors. Okay. Here is, are anyone here from Beachhead?
Did I see this? No.
No, because it went to the signage committee. We had questions, so it came back to the full board. And if you'll put that out, and there's an updated version of that, because the question was, how are they mounting it? And there was a second version that came up.
We already put this out. Should
It's
we
not
put
the
this
file.
out, or-
Mark, do you want to put this on the table?
I don't
Yeah,
think
do you have the
so.
version, do you have the version that shows with the posts?
Only if it's in the sign folder.
Okay. It is not, that's the 500-pound application from Bank of America. All right. Let me do one thing here.
Oh,
So that's, sign will come up here in a minute.
I know the applicant wasn't sure if they'd be able to make it tonight, but if the board
Okay.
has any comments, of course, we'll encourage them to.
The reason why it came, let me see if I can just find it. The reason why it came to the board is when it first came in, it's a 2 applicant sign. The village rules are, it can't be more than 5 square feet, which is 700, if it has 2 businesses on it, which is 720 square inches. And this sign is exactly 720 square inches. The question that came up was, how are you mounting the sign? So they had sent back, we just got an updated, I think we got, no, I thought we got,
Where is this
where
going
is
to be
it?
mounted?
hang on.
Or is this a?
The location sign's 258 White Street.
But once approved, it can be put on any
When's it-
property.
Yeah, it's gonna be moved.
that they're working on.
Oh,
It's
it's-
their,
Oh,
it's
it's a
their
builder's
brand.
sign.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're mixed up.
It's a,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
it's a builder sign that's for the builder and the architect together on one sign.
Yeah, it's called a special contractor sign under
Yes.
a code that allows for
Yeah.
multiple businesses on the same sign.
And it's exactly to size, and it's supposed to be mounted on two, and the drawing that came in shows on two 4-inch square mounted white posts on either side, which is sort of typical for it. So, my thought would be to approve it, but the folder here doesn't show the updated drawing. I'm going to say, let's do this one and this one. Send it back. Jane, did you get the updated drawing for the sign committee?
I believe I did see it on the email.
Okay. Did you approve it?
Yes, I think it's metal post, not metal post, I think it's a plastic.
They're 4-inch square white posts, right?
Right, right.
Okay. Did you approve it?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Then let's send this back to the sign committee and we'll handle it that way because they're not here tonight and that's not the fully correct drawing. So we'll take this one back to the sign committee, and if the sign committee approves it, then we can get this moving on. Okay. So that takes us into historic carryover, demo evaluation for 146 North Main Street. Is the applicant here?
Good evening, Robert Fischetti, front of the 320 Hampton Road. The applicant.
Do me a favor and do that into the mic if you would.
Robert Fischetti, front of the Fischetti, 320 Hampton Road, Southampton, for the applicant.
Okay. Now, in the last meeting, they came in with a rebuttal to the report that Zach Studenroth had done for the committee, but they didn't put the report in time, what they would do Tuesday prior. So we sort of adjourned to this meeting so we'd have time to read the report. Did everyone
Whoa,
read the
it
report?
happened.
What?
He's hooked up.
Oh.
Does
He
know?
fixed it.
Oh, okay.
Did everyone have time to read the report? I'd like to have, before we go further, I'd like to have a little board discussion here on this whole thing, because for the public, this house is not located in a historic district. It is an intact historic, it would be if in a historic district, a historic house, because it has a build year of, what's your build year, 18? And it's an intact historic house. Because it's not an historic district, this board has two choices. They can either landmark it, or by not landmarking, when people apply for a certificate of for a demolition permit, we don't issue demolition permits. We agree to not landmark a building. At which point, the building inspector can then issue with that determination by this board. The building inspector can then write the demolition.
So the question before this board is, do you want to schedule?
The question
a public
before this board is, do we or do we not want to landmark this building? There's a lot of thoughts, and I think there's a lot in Zach's report, I think, that is very accurate about the building. The house has been a long history here, and I think there's a lot in the rebuttal that deserves some attention to listen to. And I'm going to give you, this is just my thinking, this is not the opinion of the board. My thinking on it is this, two things. This is not a case where somebody wants to take a house down and build another modern house in a place where we had a historic house. It's a unique situation that the building was purchased in order to donate it to the school next door. And it's if the structure comes down, it will become space for use by the school and the children that work at the school. So then it comes down to, if we were to landmark the building, then what? It's a small house. It's an interesting house. It's not in a historic district. But next thing would happen is we would schedule a public hearing to then have a public hearing to discuss whether or not this house should be historic. At which case, then that would probably put it in front of the village. If we make a decision to then landmark the house, then that's a decision that can be challenged, and that opens itself to litigation on the part of the village and on the part of the church and on the part of the school. So I think that's part of the decision. But we've been faced with this before, and I understand the passion to want to preserve all our old houses. But I also think in this case, this is just my opinion, in this case, I think what we would look at for what the use of the building is and how does it, what benefits the village, and what benefits the community. I'm not sure that I think landmarking, approaching landmarking for this structure, it reaches quite, I think it could reach 2 of the 3 criteria if we wanted to approach it. But I don't think this is the time that I would be comfortable recommending a structure for landmarking given the unique situation that we're looking at. That's my opinion. Other people I know feel differently, so I would like the board to opine on that. Let's see where we stand. I know some people are very passionate about wanting to preserve this building.
I
so-
agree with everything you just said wholeheartedly.
Okay.
Oh, and I think there's a difference between sentimentality and
Would you mind?
having, sentimentality and having fondness for and familiarity for a structure and whether it reaches, as you said, the caliber or the appropriateness for landmarking. That doesn't mean I'm jumping up and down about it, but I think we have to take a little bit more dispassionate view. So,
I can't comment. It wouldn't be good.
Okay.
I agree. I feel like if there was a passion for somebody to redo it and redo it in the spirit that it is there for, that would be amazing. But I feel like we're not in that situation. And in the state that it's in, I think it would be hard to get there.
Okay. Jane?
I do not think the house should be demoed, but maybe it should be put up on the auction block for $1, and maybe somebody wants to move it elsewhere in the village, since housing is so scarce.
This I also, part of my thinking is it's a unique situation because we don't have a lot of situations in the village where land is actually up against schools for use and for some of our public buildings to be able to expand for additional usable space for kids. That also came into my thought process a little bit.
Well, excuse me, but we're being told that it's for a garden, not to put another room on the school so it can, is that correct?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
What's the use?
It's being, you were
Future
going to make
use.
I heard this over, that it was for a garden, not for an extension of the building.
Yes, no, it would just be outdoor
Although
use.
nothing would,
Yeah, that all has to go through the site plan and the planning board, but yes, it would be for outdoor use. It's not to propose to make the school bigger, it's just to
No.
make that space available for the school. For
But
outdoor
available.
classroom,
But for use by children that attend
Yes,
that
yes,
school.
yeah, absolutely.
Outdoor use by
Yes,
children
absolutely.
that attend that school.
yes.
That was my understanding. All right.
so.
Do we need public comment?
No,
No. Okay.
you can make a motion.
So this is a little of a heartbreaking situation. But what I would ask, I think Jane's suggestion is a very good one. If people, let it be known if somebody wanted to take and preserve this building, they could. I would appreciate. I don't know that we'll have that, but it'd be nice if we could. But I
It
think
would also be less expensive than the demolishing it.
I would
true.
just add the structural engineer that we had look at the house did not think it would survive being moved. So that's a factor, but.
Is that in this report?
Yes, it's in our original report that was submitted, it's in the back, the whole structural engineer's report.
All right. So I'm of the opinion that, I think we should just take a vote. I think we see where we stand. So I'm going to make the motion that the Architecture Review Board not seek to promote landmark status for 146 North Main Street. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I'm opposed.
Great. Okay, thank you.
So we're approved for demolition.
We're,
No,
Well, you're
now,
approved.
now you
No.
have to go to
I
the,
mean,
buil- now you have to go to the
Past-
building
We're not
department.
we're
saying
through,
that.
we're through
Now you
this
have-
board
yes.
for demolition, yes.
Now you have to go to the
Halfway
building
there.
department.
We'll go to the building department, yes. Thank you very much.
All right. Which brings us to the next issue, which is 23 Main Street, which is the COA for rear addition to include egress, stair, and entry porch.
Aren't we
Oh, no,
at
I'm sorry.
251 Pond
No,
Lane?
I'm sorry. 251 Pond, I'm off one. 251 Pond Lane. Welcome back.
Good to see you all. Carl Benacasa, 860 Montauk Highway, Watermill, New York, for the applicant.
Okay. Last time we were here, we were down to talking about the two balconies And I think that was the last outstanding issue, is that correct?
Pablo
The
Jendretsky,
balconies on
Jendretsky
the-
Design.
Sorry.
Okay.
You want to just say it again, because I talked over you.
Pablo Jendretsky, Jendretsky Design.
Okay.
Yes, on the western elevation, the balconies on the western elevation. And Mr. Jendretsky will go through what changes have been made since we were last here.
Okay.
I don't have my thing.
As you can see, we have only one drawing.
That's all right, I did look at it.
Okay.
West elevation,
Okay, western elevation.
the conversation was about the middle terrace that occupied the full length between the two wings
Yep.
as being big. So what we did is convert that into a roof with a balcony in it, making this balcony 55% smaller. And by doing that, also we were able to match the design of the railings, so they have the same height. So that's what we
Okay.
did.
I do have a chart that demonstrates over time how that elevation has changed.
Oh, it's okay.
No,
I
that's
think we
okay.
have that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's not
I think we remember.
Did.
Thank you.
We keep the old.
All right. Board members, thoughts?
I think that's a major improvement, I would have to
Yeah.
say.
Yep.
The symmetry,
Me too.
the sort of too much on the second floor, busyness is gone.
Jane?
Much improved.
Okay. So I have two things to say. First of all, thank you. I know this one's been a little bit of a long process to get here. I think that the changes, are harmonious to the house, they're harmonious to the neighborhood, it addresses the needs of the board, and you listened, and we appreciate that. So my last question is, are there any comments from the public?
Wait,
What?
what about those lights? What did we agree on? There's a light up there on the second floor.
Yep, I mean, there were
three.
three before, now there's one, and it's under the roof.
Light is required by code, because there's an
Okay.
exterior
Uh-huh.
door.
Well, if you can't go
Yeah.
out there, it's
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
two ways
Yeah.
to deal with it.
Okay, are there any comments from the public? All right, so with this change, I'm going to motion to move to written decision to accept the application for 251 Pond Lane based on final drawings presented on stamped in on March 16th, 2026. Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I know this has been a long project
Thank you,
and long process, and we appreciate you working with us.
thank you so much.
Okay, so that brings us to 23 Main Street.
Oh. Hi,
Hello.
sick of the drizzle.
Yes, my friend, give me 1 minute.
Oh, he's so cheerful, this guy.
It's complicated. Okay. Oh, look, bricks.
Look at you.
Wow. Spectacular.
All right. If you'll start, as always, by introducing yourself, my friend.
Yes, my name is Pete DePasquale. I'm here to present an update on the proposed addition to Southampton Village Hall, incorporating the board's previous comments. Just as a very brief summary, the project introduces a rear addition to provide a required egress there, enabling the safe occupancy and renovation of the currently unused third floor at Village Hall. I'll share my screen. Okay, today I'm going to focus on three areas where we primarily received feedback in our last session. One is the front door, two is facade and site detailing, and the third is the planting approach. The board had asked us to consider a front door that felt more prominent and welcoming than the previous proposal. Our revised proposal, and here we're, due to the difficulty of the rendering style and capturing exactly what the existing is like, we used the rendering style to capture the existing condition on the left so as to more easily compare what is and isn't changing. The revised proposal introduces a 42-inch wide door scaled to meet current accessibility requirements, while also drawing directly from the proportions and detailing of the original entry. You can see here that this door panel profile simulates what was a pair of doors originally. We expand it to provide that little extra gravitas. And then there's an area of glass on the top panel, and there will be hand painting of the village hours on there. The goal was to reinforce the civic presence of the building while maintaining continuity with its historic character. Regarding facade, would you like me to pause each of these items, or I'm going to
But
roll
wait,
through?
where are you painting these hours?
On the glass. of
Oh, on the
door.
glass.
Yeah, on the glass. So you can see it just so slightly here.
I can't.
it's a
I mean,
blow
I
up
can
there.
see some
Yeah.
We
stuff.
talked about a signage.
Yes, the
package.
signage, we have some questions often.
Okay.
The question would be color, because village code and gold signage is not something we generally approve, and I don't think the village hall should have what we don't approve for other businesses.
okay.
So I would actually appreciate that being white,
Okay.
because in our signage language, it talks about color use.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This way. Okay.
So the actual open, and there's just a couple, I'm sorry, the
That's
actual
okay, it's
openings, the actual opening remains the same size, you've just taken the door and made it taller.
And we made it
And they-
wider from the previous proposal. We were sort
Okay.
of simulating a side light previously, but here we're creating one door, and we're maintaining the existing detailing, pilaster profile and the kind of roped detail that's existing. So we're providing one enlarged door in that opening.
I think that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at what you're showing on page whatever as existing.
Yeah, and I just popped it
proposed.
back up here for reference.
Yeah, because the actual door is taller.
That's right. That is
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
The actual
Oh,
door
that
is
is
taller.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
but the actual, the outside brick historic opening is the same size.
Correct.
Right, okay. Just wanted that on the record, thank you.
Do we have a sense of how the door would work functionality-wise?
Yeah, you hit the thing on the left of the,
That's right. There will be a button for handicap accessibility. There
I
will be
see
a
it.
motorized operator,
Mhm.
and otherwise it will have normal handle operability, but somebody will be able to open it from
'Cause-
either side by a push button.
because now if you approach the door, it opens, theoretically, opens automatically.
Yeah, it's
if
not going to be on that
unlocked.
kind of
It
an
isn't.
opener. It's just
Okay.
going to be the push button.
Okay?
Regarding the facade detailing, we had talked about how we were embracing from the original base building this brick panel detail at the third floor. And we're continuing to show that there was, and just elaborating a little bit on the detail and dimensioning, just to make it clear what we're doing here. There was a comment that perhaps what sort of is consistent with the second floor existing window size and syncopation, that we would want to treat that brick banding and detailing in the same way as that panel. But we actually think it's important in terms of articulating the history of the building to make it just slightly different. So we want to continue to use this header detail and then introduce the second step just to distinguish this condition from the upper.
Didn't we have a conversation about three-step versus two-step on those recessed panels?
That's right, and there was a thought that perhaps it should just be 2 steps at these windows as well.
As
But
it
we
is,
did think
yeah.
it was important for the second floor to read differently than the third, that there actually ought to be in terms of reading the building's history for them to be slightly off. So that's why we're sticking with the second step.
I feel it makes the detailing of the second floor with the sort of false windows, I don't know what ghost,
Mm-hmm.
more important than the other, which is not the historic, right? I feel like it gives more emphasis to what I wouldn't want to draw attention to, but I'm not going to say no, but I think that's what was part of the problem. No?
Maybe.
To me, you know what I mean?
Would it be acceptable to maintain the header detail, to keep the proportion and lines and registration lines across the building, but to take out that additional step?
Yeah.
I think that would be better, because
I thought that's what we
yeah.
had sort of thought, but I could be
I
wrong.
think it looks deco.
Yeah, the more of that,
Because the
more
triple step
layers.
is almost a deco element that I
Yep.
don't think is as harmonious
you
as the
just-
two-step
I-
that you have on the third floor.
Okay.
But then also on the old building, the brick lines line up with the window casing, which they don't look like they line up on the third floor
Right,
here.
and we had touched on that previously too, because the eave comes into the head of the windows directly here. It looks like it's a very different relationship, but in fact, the alignment from the window rough opening to the brick stepping is the same.
wow.
It's just that it's because there is no cornice, it reads differently.
Cornice on
Sorry,
the
this because
third
of this
floor.
dental detailing here is not there, tied into the header of the windows.
Yeah.
Is why those things look more different. It all looks very locked together here. They're actually in the same relationship, but it looks different because there's not a definition to this top band here at the third floor.
I don't understand.
Correct, but there's no crown on the back side.
There's no, what was that?
There's no crown on the back.
Correct.
There's no detail that goes around that.
That's right. It's the 1931 edition has no articulation above the windows, either at the header or adjacent. So this is meant to represent a sort of step between the two different conditions that we see in the building. Here does not have, it's a bit of simplified. They stripped away the detail in the 1931, so we're introducing aspects of it back here from the
So
original
it looks
building.
out of alignment to me, where the others are registered consistently across the side.
Because there's not a clearer striking of that line right there between the windows, which that dental detail creates. In order to articulate that, we'd have to add another step in the brick.
Or move the step up one level.
Yes, and that would be, and that's a nice idea.
So you would, hello.
You mean top? You thought me take the top rail and move it up one.
We
brick
stretch the
line.
Yeah.
detail by
Yes.
one course up,
This is
so
a
that you're
line across
striking
the
that line.
top, not the jumping
Yeah.
up and
That
down.
line
Yep.
goes to
Like
there.
it
Oh, I
registers
see.
on
Yeah.
the side.
Yep,
Yep,
it would
I-
just,
I think I'm with
I'm
Quinn on
it would
that.
relate better to the
Maybe that's
existing.
good.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Wow,
No, it's okay.
this is amazing.
We're
in
trying to get
here.
it right.
I do think it gets busier otherwise. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I think you said at a previous meeting, what was the reason why there weren't windows on the second floor level?
I'm gonna pull up just our last
Elevator?
presentation.
Stairs.
Just to,
Stairs.
yeah, there's the,
Stringers.
there's a staircase directly behind it.
And
And so the
that's-
landing and then the stringers go directly through those windows.
is that different than what's on the first floor?
Yes, that's right, because this, so that condition happens only just right here against that window, and we felt we could paint that out, and with the
Okay.
tree proposal there, that would be subtle.
Mm-hmm.
But, it felt unintentional to just read the stair through all of those windows and end around the corner.
Because you'd see the
You would
staircase?
see the landing and stringer go through the windows.
Hmm.
Can you blow that up a little bit on there, on the
Sure.
screen? Do we have that page?
This is from the
From
previous.
the previous?
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing what page number that is?
Yeah, sure. It's page 8 of 21.
This is the original.
And is the platform on the third, well, it's the platform between 2 and 3 above the window casing at the bottom?
For this one right here on the left?
Yeah, yes.
That's right. So you would see the side of that landing passing through the window. And I think it would be especially like strange with lighting at night to start to feel shadowing and to see that.
Well, except for 2 cats and a couple of I don't know who's going to be back there.
Stairwell except for Village Hall.
I don't know.
Unless we want to override them.
But I hear, that's like old municipal buildings, like elementary schools in Ohio. They had all kinds of stuff like that going on,
That's right.
which I got used to, so it doesn't bother me. But
I don't know.
I think you've been very perceptive about this stuff. It's a challenge. I don't
What
mind.
are you thinking?
I don't know.
Jane, do you have any questions or thoughts?
I'm not sure if we need a window there. I was actually trying to imagine the elementary school on Hampton Road if there were windows in the staircases.
That's old.
Yeah.
newer.
I generally find if there's more space between the window and the stringer, there's one thing, but these stringers would be right up against the window. I think that might,
Yeah.
I think that might be odd.
Yeah.
And I think you'd see people's feet at the top
Yeah.
of the window on the second floor, which would be kind of
You
strange.
could kick it too.
I don't think
Yeah.
it adds
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
let's put it that way. But I don't, I mean, really, 3 stray cats, who's going to be back
It's
here?
like immensely better.
So far what I'm hearing is to adjust the brick level of the inset on the 3rd floor, to take the 2nd floor from the 3 sets back down to 2, and what else are we looking at?
Taking some notes myself. We have here the brick specification. I'm going to put this back on presentation.
Yeah, we have to talk about it. You went to the trouble to bring them.
Right.
So we looked around the building, and this range of colors marries very closely to the 1931 building and looks particularly good on the south side. And part of the reason it looks different on that face versus that face is the front face of the bricks on the rear are popping off, and they're showing the orange body, so you can see that here. But
Yes.
with, by building this new, by addressing waterproofing and flashing the correct way, and given the evolution of bricks, this popping should not be happening. And so it should continue to resonate with the south face and not go orange in the way that this facade has. This representative, like this range, this is a representative range of most of the bricks, but it does include a certain portion of these darker bricks, which will be used and cut on end to create that modified Flemish bond. There were questions about lighting and the presence of lighting on the building.
Yeah.
We're showing 2 recessed lightings inside that sort of exterior vestibule that we have. The lighting is intentionally meant to be minimal and provide orientation from the parking lot and safety, without introducing any, visual prominence to compete with the look of the building. So they're just meant to fade away. In a similar fashion, we're introducing, for the lighting that's required on the walking surface at the stairs, that lighting is integrated into the handrail. And so
Oh.
you won't see it as a fixture, but it will just throw some glow onto the top.
Very fancy.
Nice.
And then here, I won't speak to every part and piece of it, but we did consult with a local landscape designer on a proposal for the 3 planters, the one against the existing meeting hall, the one between the 2 staircases here, and then the larger one. And so within that, we have, specimen trees, sort of a little bit of volume in the middle, and then some lower cover. Probably not beautifully articulated, but this is the planting plan
Way to
and
water.
species.
Is there any water out there to water this stuff?
We're gonna bring it there.
Because that's what happens.
Yep.
And then can you go back to the previous slide?
Sure.
What's happening on the inside right there? That whole little vestibule situation. Is that gonna be a nice entrance when you step in that space?
This here, yeah, we're intending for this to be
I
stucco
see
lined.
janitor's closet.
Well, sorry. Oh, you
Going
mean
inside,
here?
yep,
here.
inside.
So, the
This is-
the scope of the project vis-a-vis,
Oh.
I would say like the aesthetic
purview on
improvements, comes to the front door. We are casing this opening so that we can give definition and perhaps elevated materiality to the entrance as soon as you get in the door. But in terms of drawing a line for the scope of the project, that's why we're, casing this opening so that we can control, have a moment of welcoming, and then hopefully this starts to build some momentum that people start to look to change the whole first floor.
I have a question. What is the door made out of that's facing the parking lot there?
We were intending for it to be a glassy door to provide light and view back out this way, to be a metal and glass door.
What's the front door going to be made out of? Is that metal also, or will that be a wooden door?
That will be a wood door.
Couldn't we do wood back here also?
That's possible, yes.
That could be
Yeah.
less municipal and
Yeah.
look,
Hmm.
and we get to come in that way, so,
I think that's a good idea.
okay. Well, it's much better than it was, my goodness.
Thoughts on the door?
And of course, this is all going to be in service to making the third floor usable, which will be transformative to the village. I mean, in terms of its use in office space.
It's
Kathy,
it's
thoughts?
not our,
I think it's okay.
it's
No, I
not
know.
our highest concern.
Yeah.
We're in the back is,
Aesthetics.
Some of our concern.
Yeah, well,
I think the front
It's a
door
lot of
looks
attention.
great.
well, then
big
give us all
improvement,
offices.
Yep.
I mean,
Right,
it's
and I think the back looks
pretty
nice.
good,
Yeah, nice.
and not too,
Not
it
too-
doesn't
I feel-
show
yeah.
itself too much. It's
Yeah.
kind of right.
I feel like you're
think
down,
it's nice. You did
I feel like you're
good
down, I
work.
feel like you're down to the paint color issues on the door. And I think you're down to revising just the brick patterning on the back of the building is where I'm hearing comment. As we talked about, raising it up one brick level, taking the triple step out and taking it back to two-step level on the second floor. We seem to be in a place where there's general agreement on the exterior for the ground floor and the landscape.
And the front.
And the front, I think the front is much improved.
Oh,
That's
really?
what I'm hearing.
It's very
The
steady.
front for
It's
sure.
really improved that.
So then the question
do we
becomes,
think
are
these
there
are
questions from the
puny?
public? John Bennett.
Something bothers me about that tiny bit.
Don't talk until you get to the mic, John.
My name is John Bennett, and I spoke at the last hearing, and I think it's wonderful that the board has shepherded all these changes. I just had one question, it's an informational question. And I can't see the perimeter of the building in my mind's eye. There's some lovely cornice on the south side of the building. Is that not continued along the back? If it isn't, it isn't. But I just hope we're not stripping any of the cornice.
It's not there.
Okay, that's fine. I
I
just
mean, it
couldn't.
really was,
No, it's,
there's a picture of it.
it's funny
Just
because I just looked at that,
utilitarian.
I just looked at that same picture from the last one to look at the existing side of the building.
Okay.
On
Yeah.
the other side to see that it was still there, and it was.
Okay,
Yes.
because on the south side, there's very elaborate, beautiful
Yeah,
cornice, but,
and then
so nothing is no area that has that cornice
Is
is
being-
being removed. That's all,
that,
that's the only
that's
question
really
I had.
historic. We wouldn't,
It stopped at the
that
jail
wouldn't
cell.
happen.
Right.
It stopped at the jail cell, exactly.
Oh, yeah, we did get the jail part taken out. Wasn't even our idea.
All right, so with that, you see where we need to go?
Yes. So
Okay.
it seems appropriate that we can come back addressing these details with the
And then-
package, so this would be appropriate for a vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
great.
Great, thank you.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you.
So with that, losing my paperwork,
Oh, here it is.
anything gone? So
Village
with
of
that, so
Southampton.
you can be ready by April, oh, we have a good long time, April 13th.
Yeah, that should be great.
Okay, so I'm going to move that we accept the applicant's request for an adjournment for 23 Main Street till April 13th, 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you
We're
so
getting
much.
there. Thank you very much.
Thank
We're
you.
getting
Yeah, close.
Great,
there. Okay.
appreciate it.
Next up, 251 North Main Street for an addition for rear dwelling and exterior renovations. Hello? Bring your heavy bricks.
All right, you can,
How are you? Brandon Brady for 251 North Main. I'm
Okay.
the owner and the architect.
you got a copy of the historic report, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is, in response to all of that. So just one quick recap on the project. It's a two-structure, 2CO property. We're proposing a renovation and addition on the front house. The rear house is going to structurally maintain the same new windows to promote cohesion with the front house, and that's all that's going on back there. So just again, this is a current condition of the front house before we get too deep into Zach's report. And then here. Attempt to address both your comments from the last meeting and Zach's comments from the report. We've made several updates to our initial proposal. Big ones, just in the front. We added symmetry to these front windows. We balanced that whole facade out. We updated all of our windows to 2/2, as opposed to the 4/1 we had previously presented. We also, per your comments last time, tried to lighten the front entry. We narrowed the staircase to draw you into the front door with a more traditional progression. We also, per Zach's report, I revised the front door to, it's a 2-panel wood door with a glass top, eliminating the side lights. And then the biggest comment, or the biggest revision I think we made from Zach's report was breaking up the original facade right here. The addition, you couldn't necessarily distinguish between the existing and the addition, and the addition definitely overpowered the existing. So what we did was we went ahead and lowered the roof ridge that was previously in the back and, stood proud of the existing. So it's now aligned with that. And then we also broke this elevation. We stepped it back about 18 inches. So what I'm sorry?
Is that a different drawing than what we're looking at?
With this?
Yeah, we
With
don't
the
have
stepped
that.
back, ours are all straight roof lines from the original. Unless I have an old one or looking at an old
Are you
one.
looking at, what,
Like
what's your
202,
drawing
like
date?
the drawing he's showing us there is different from this.
You have March
I didn't know if that was
17th.
updated.
You have March 17th, yeah.
Yeah, March
Yeah.
17th.
This is what was presented.
Do you go to your page A202?
Two here.
And your question is?
I don't see
I
any
thought
of
you
this.
were saying you had dropped the roof line.
Yes, so
and
here,
changed it.
you could see
Yeah.
right here, you can see the ridge is now lower. Before, this rear ridge was up here. It was much higher. So you could see here, we kept the top of
So
existing
you've made,
ridge.
instead of where you had a ridge line in your addition that was higher than the original roof line, you brought it down to be equal to the original roof line.
Correct. We
Okay.
made it equal, and then we stepped it in as well.
Okay.
And then what ultimately I ended up doing was taking this existing structure in the front and duplicating it into the back. So our rear facade is the exact same massing as our front. In our addition, we went to more of this kind of
We just have two.
shed roof pop out to break the structure down, break the mass down. So it didn't read, so massive, as Zach pointed out. And we also decreased the size of the chimney substantially to address that comment. These just blow-ups of the main elevations. Sorry.
A902 is still the previous.
Right, I see that.
That's the previous.
This is what he pared down, the stairway and stuff. But this, isn't this different?
So in the window openings that face the front,
Yes,
you got two sets of side-by-side 2x2s now?
correct.
Are those the same size window opening as what is currently existing?
They are smaller, which was based on one of the comments from the last meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
And the square the 4-pane window at the top
Correct.
under the gable is now smaller than what is there currently?
Substantially, yes. These are the existing,
Yep.
and these are also smaller than our previous submittal.
But my question is, what do we know about on the window that's under the gable? Are we actually, was that size of that window opening the original size of that window opening? Or was it made larger over time? Or are we making a historic window opening smaller?
So per Zach's report, as I understood it, a lot of what was original is not really there anymore. He was saying from the time that the Chris report was put together, there were already so many alterations to the structure.
That's true, there were.
So, I'm trying to be definitely sympathetic,
Okay.
but a lot of those details, and these were his words, a lot of those details were lost. So to know exactly what it was, I can't
Short of
speak
going down to
to.
the framing, it's hard to say. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Board members, comments?
Thanks for listening with the front. I think the smaller entryway makes it look a lot more in tune with the neighborhood.
Green, Kathy?
And is this natural shingles that you're representing here?
Yeah, I'm suggesting yellow cedar shingles, both on the siding and the roof.
And the windows are black?
The windows, that was a comment last time as well. They were bronze. I've updated it to this more gray, which goes nicely with the trim color. It's definitely a more subtle,
Lighter, okay.
yeah.
Here's my comments, just for what it's worth. I think we've come way far forward. Thank you. 'Cause I think you sort of, from both Zach's report and what you've heard from us, you've made some great adjustments here. I still think across the front the columns look really heavy and sort of atypical of what we normally see in a historic district on a historic house. And so I think that needs to be lightened up a little bit or reworked where it has a little more back-facing historic preference to it and a little less contemporary looking. And I think the other thing I'd say was I think the chimney, if you could take a look at the brick detailing on the chimney itself, the step out at the top and the size of the chimney feels a little contemporary for a historic district on a historic house. Just think about if you drive around and look what some of the other step and brick detailing is on chimneys in that neighborhood. This one feels a little contemporary to me.
Yeah, that was, not to interrupt, I was trying to imitate what's there.
Yeah.
With that detailing, but I agree. I think the proportion is probably
It's kind of heavy.
the larger
Yeah.
issue there. Yeah.
Other board members?
Are you doing anything with the historic windows that have been called out? Reusing, repurposing?
I do
There's a lot of
have,
opportunity to do that.
yeah, I have one proposal, which would be to use this existing window in the rear, which was called out as potentially original, and just restoring that window and using it, you know, in the exact same location here. So we could, you know, happily do
I
that.
mean, that kind of stuff is great,
Yeah,
especially given its age.
yeah.
Same with the one in the peak, I would say.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one below it,
Uh,
which was also, I think, Zach called out.
Oh, those
the
those
back.
aren't in a salvageable condition.
In the back of the house.
Yeah, these two. These two, and one of them, the division's even horizontal, not vertical. But that's why I did go to the 2/2 everywhere. And, you know, these windows are best guess from the 1930s.
But the one above it. In the
This
peak
one,
is
absolutely, yeah.
original.
That's what I'm proposing to keep here.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So we kept the, you know, style of the other one, so.
So, is the bay window that's, I guess, on the north elevation, is that original?
Bay window on the north elevation,
That one.
sorry. Which one?
That one.
Oh, that is not original. That was probably added in the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a plastic type window.
That's not there in the building. Okay. Any other questions, comments, Jane? Kathy, anything?
So, the little, like, on here, I feel like the roof, and I can't even see maybe, the pediment over the two heavy columns in the front porch, is there, I guess, is that, it just seems like it, I love the one, I like how it looks old. I know it might be 1979, but it's not 2026. I like the sort of, is it as straight as the 1979 and whatever was before, was green before the 1979? Here and here. Is that what you have here? It's so dark on the, is that the same? I feel like,
I think you might, like, are you talking about closing the end of the pediment? Like, they would have typically been closed.
yeah, it just seems like,
It seems,
it
it's
doesn't really
funny
help
that it's
that.
open.
Just,
Sort
It
of
looks
flowing.
just adding a
Fly-
panel here, you're
flying.
saying.
Correct.
It would,
Right here.
it would make it, it would give it a more traditional, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I think that would be a huge improvement.
And
I
if you
all
look at
help it.
some of the other houses as you
Yeah,
go
they all
down
have
North
that.
Main, it's a very
On that road.
consistent.
Okay, that's
I'm
all.
keeping that
that's-
eagle in
element.
the front then.
Keeping the what?
There's an eagle in the front right now, I'm keeping that. Okay, that's,
So, oh, good. Okay, well, that's my only real comment about.
Okay, so questions about the pediment, the pediment application. We have questions about the column and the heaviness of the columnings, and you're going to take a look at the chimney detail.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in regards to the column, is that something where you think round is maybe more appropriate
Yeah.
than square?
I do.
Probably, but you drive around the neighborhood and see what was,
Mhm.
you know, let the neighborhood be your guide a little bit.
And there was
There's
the,
a lot on North Main
Yeah,
Street.
it's a
to
lot of
look
North
at.
Yeah.
Main Street. Are there questions from the public? Anybody
What-
online? Okay,
What was the year that this was built finally, the 1870s?
what was your
That's
build
Still
year?
not determined, somewhere in that, yeah,
It's
1870s
in
to
that frame, it's in
1890s.
that framework.
Great, yeah.
All right, with that, so you can be
It
ready
should-
by April 13th is good for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to motion to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment to April 13th for 251 North Main Street. Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you then. Okay, so that brings us to new matters. The first one is 80 Wyandanch. Do you have affidavits and are they in order?
Yes and yes.
the applicant, John Bennett, Bennett Reed, 212 Windmill Lane, Southampton, New York. This is a request for removal of the designation of this residence as a contributing structure to the historic district because it was either improperly included or the circumstances have changed. It's not a request to demolish the house, it's just a request to delist it as a contributing structure. I spoke to council today. There is a procedural issue here. The creation of historic districts and contributing structures as opposed to landmarking structures, now it appears rests with the trustees.
It does.
But this board does have an advisory role to fulfill on that. So I think it just makes the most sense, because you're going to see this anyway, to present to you. Although there is a blue sheet of record, and it purports to be in a contributing structure, the argument is twofold. One, it was improperly classified as a contributing structure, but second, the changes are such that it no longer is a contributing structure, and is in effect a non-contributing structure. And again, we only want to remove the designation. This is not an application for a demo permit, as such the provisions of 65(7)B, which require the submission of a plan for the replacement structure, do not apply. This is just to remove it as a contributing structure. We think the facts direct that the structure was either improperly listed as a contributing structure, or it's lost its integrity. And I'm going to talk a lot about it. No, not a lot about it. I'm going to try, because most of the stuff is in the record.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk a bit about it. But I think it might be very, very helpful for you to take a field trip to this property.
Oh, we did.
We've
It
been
really
there.
We did.
speaks for itself.
We did.
I mean,
We've
wow.
been to that house 3 times.
This
is-
This is because you were before us before
Yeah,
last year,
then we
and
withdrew it.
then you withdrew it.
Yeah, we
It's
would.
like
And in that, we
Groundhog
went
Day.
through, because I feel like we've read through most of this before.
Okay, I'm just going to highlight some stuff.
We went and toured the house twice, in
Yeah.
fact. I think we're all very familiar with Lady
I'm sure you
Wyndham.
are. I'm going to highlight it, but I'm also going to add some stuff that wasn't available to me at the last meeting. 65(1)C, a structure is non-contributing if the site has been so altered or deteriorated that the overall integrity of the historic resource has been irretrievably lost. And I think this is a textbook for this. You have the Civic Visions report. It's very long. It's going to very bullet point highlight a couple of items that they bring to the fore. The description in 1979 of the inventory, it didn't recognize the radical redesign and reconstruction of the wooden structure, agricultural structure, into a stucco faux French-style country house. I mean, this thing. I mean, I remember driving by there many, many years ago and saying, "Where the hell did that come from?" Because there was nothing like that before. All of a sudden, there's this very out of character, strange, really faux, French country-style house. And really, it's been so stepped on, which is not a term of art, but is sort of in the vernacular. And it removed all the integrity of the original building. And then you have a report back in September 2, 2025, by Zach as the village consultant, saying the elongated form, massing, and detailing of the expanded house now visually conceal what was of historic significance. Quote, the excessive sameness of the earlier and later sections in terms of form, massing, and architectural detailing conceal the evolution of the house, removes whatever visual reference to the historic barn that the structures may have preserved after the conversion. And that's all demonstrated not only in Zach's report. Zach didn't come to a conclusion, but all the factual stuff, if you put all the factual findings that he made there, because you weren't asking him to come to a conclusion.
John, I think I'm going to cut you off a little bit here because we have gone through a lot of this.
Okay, but
Let me tell you where I think the issues are.
But let me get to the new stuff.
Let me help you here. I see there are
Okay.
2 issues. This board, there's nothing in village code
Right.
that gives this board authority to delist a house.
Well, that's why I want to
And
talk
where
to you
the,
about
and number
what
two,
the
and
decision
number
that you
two,
made.
and number two,
Mhm.
the decision to delist a house now does not lie with this board. It lies with the trustees. So what I think is this is a presentation now, should they choose to hear it, you need to make to the trustees. And if the trustees want an opinion from the Architecture Review Board, they will ask us for an opinion, at which point we will give them one.
Okay,
Because
so-
that's where we are now because of the code change.
All right, fine. So, but I don't want to waste time then. If you're going to say send it to the trustees, we're going to send it to the trustees then. Because I don't want to waste any time.
And then I'm going to say send it to the trust. That's where the authority lies
Okay.
now.
All right, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
That's fine with
It's a
me.
new deal.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
fine with me. I'll make the application to the trustees, but I just want to make sure, Alex, I'll go right to the trustees. I don't have to refile anything.
Well, you guys can
We
take that
don't
out.
know.
Procedure for this?
Yeah.
Don't
So
ask
you just
us.
have to
You
address
can,
correspondence.
take that
Where's the
outside
ARB?
of here, because it, you know,
Excuse me?
so,
It's going to come back to you. I just want to bring one thing to your attention.
John, realize we've been through this about 8 hours
No,
worth,
Mark,
John.
we haven't. I
We
have to tell you something.
He's
that
got
has
one new
happened
thing.
since-
What? Okay, give me one new
Okay.
thing.
What is it?
Okay. Your own village consultant, back in September 25, on a 32 ox pasture road determination said, quote, while there is no official procedure for delisting a contributing structure in the historic district, the granting of building permits for alterations and additions over time can effectively diminish the integrity of this structure. Thus, the loss of architectural integrity is a tantamount to a delisting, and the board went on, in effect, to delist it. You can say whatever
We
you want.
didn't.
I can.
but that's a
There were
32
very
ox
different,
pasture road.
actually, there were very
Different house.
different,
And we
there were
didn't
very
delist
different
it.
circumstances
No,
to
it
that
was
house. but-
functionally no
All right,
difference at all.
so I think, again, I think the next step for you is to go have a chat with the trustees, and if the trustees want an opinion from the Architecture Review Board on this, they will
Okay.
ask us, and we will create one.
So let's be crystal clear about this, because I don't want anyone, I don't want to get ping pong, right? Your position is that my request to delist this building, full jurisdiction of that, subject to your advice if they want it.
Subject to your request
Okay.
at the
No, no,
last
let me finish.
September, in the
Let me
meeting where
ask
you
the
asked that to happen. Go
Ask
ahead.
the question, please. Lies solely with the trustees.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay, great, that's
Yes.
fine.
Okay,
All right, that's where we'll go. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay,
so we don't have any motions.
what do we do?
Well,
I'm asking council.
Nothing.
well,
All right,
I mean, it's, you're on the record as taking that position, that's
Yeah.
fine. with me.
okay. So that brings us up to 303 First Neck
Oh.
for a COA, an addition and renovation to existing dwelling.
We have the affidavits,
And
and
they're
they're
in
in order.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
I'll just make some preparatory remarks. I'm here, you know, with Rich Sierno from AML, as well as Fulvio Masso, and Zach Studenroth is here with us as well. You may be familiar with this property. We were here a few years ago in connection with the renovation of the accessory apartment. This is a request for renovation and expansion of the existing residence on the property. I'll let Rich take you through the application, but I think what you're going to see is an extremely respectful application. The attempt is to do things to add an addition in an area where there was a wing of the house, but that's now gone. And we demonstrate that that's gone. We're going to put something in its place. And we're trying to restore some of the aspects of the original architecture, including an open front porch and relocation of the front door to where we think it was originally located. We did submit a report from Mr. Studenroth. He's here to answer any questions, but with that, I'll let Rich walk you through the plans.
Okay.
And some of the history of the property, which is very helpful.
Okay.
Richard Cerno from AML Architecture. I don't know if you've had a chance to read through our project objectives in the paperwork we sent in.
We have, I'm going to put one thing on the table, though.
Sure.
When we went to the house to try to see the house, we couldn't have access to the house. So we didn't have access. So I think one thing we will be requesting is to set up a site visit for the house. Because we didn't, we weren't able,
Okay,
we
sure.
were
It's
able
an
to.
automatic gate. If you drive up, it'll just.
I drove up
I
to
drove
the
up and
ga-
it
no,
didn't open.
no way,
Yeah.
You have to
Jose.
get kind of close to it.
Well, you got
Well-
3 people that tried, and
All
we all had the
Thanks.
same experience,
A lot
so.
of those gates are like, it's the interorum effect, but if you drive up to it, they just open up.
Well,
I
we're not
thought they
going to
would,
go
but
break
they
into
didn't,
somebody's, you
I'm
know,
not gonna
it's
get so close.
impossible
I'm not
to
gonna
see the
test
back
it.
of that house,
But no, though,
including,
we did go try to actually go on the property, and
I
3
looked
of us
for
tried
gaps in
separately.
the
and-
fence.
Yeah, and it's impossible to really see anything from the street, too.
That's correct.
So-
Exactly, so I
Okay.
do want to put that on the table.
And this is a 2020 survey. Is there anything newer? The accessory apartment does not appear, I worked on that,
Oh,
to
no,
be
no,
accurate.
this
Is that right?
No, this is 2026.
Well, what is the,
Are you reading
I don't know what
you know,
So,
the,
I find that the existing accessory apartment, is that the shape of it? No. a square?
Yes, that's a
That's
square.
right, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
This is updated in 2026.
And it, because that was a long process.
That was a really long process.
And I thought it was
It's a
even,
painful process.
no kidding. You know,
No, this survey is dated January
Okay.
14th, 26.
no, you're right. Okay, but
It wasn't as painful with this board, it was with the ZBA, it was painful.
I think I was on the
Nothing's ever
ZBA,
painful
sadly.
here.
I was on the maybe I was on
No,
the
it's
ZBA.
painful, yeah,
It went on and on.
yes it did.
And there were you're not allowed to have any living space on the first floor of
Yes,
that,
that's exactly right.
correct?
Yeah, I mean,
Correct.
because
But
it's a pool
that's all
house.
settled at this point.
That's all
All
settled.
right.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
Memory lane.
Gonna move
So-
it on.
well,
As John alluded to, there was, we have some pretty convincing evidence that the house has been reworked over time, specifically on the western side of the building.
the part we couldn't see, that street, yeah, go ahead.
The western side is the backyard side, so
Yeah.
it's away from the street.
That's right.
And there was a couple of things that were modified. First of all, the house was built in about 1895. I think Zach submitted some report in there.
A very thorough report, yes.
Yes. There were multiple things that happened over time, one of which was the addition of a front porch. So they added a front porch along the whole eastern facade of the building that wrapped around the northeast and the southeast corners of the building. Over time, the southeast corner got filled in and is now like a sunroom with an addition that moved the location of the front door, the front entry door. So that's one thing that we would like to fix that and remove that addition, putting the front door back in its original location. So we would like to restore that porch to about a 1916 condition by removing that front entry space. As we said, the west side of the building had a pretty major portion of the building removed from it. And you can see that on page 6. Page 6 is a survey we got from Squires, Holden, Wieselbach, and Smith. It's a 1926 survey produced by Mr. Halsey for Burl Hoffman.
I don't think he didn't draw the building.
What?
He owned it. F. Burl Hoffman, he didn't draw the building, it doesn't appear, he owned it.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, Halsey was the surveyor that made this survey. And what we did was, we took the existing footprint and we overlaid it onto this survey. And you can see that this yellow hatched area on page 6, that's the structure that was removed. And for most of that footprint, it was 2 stories. So it's roughly about 2,000 square feet of this building was removed after 1932. And you can see that if you compare this survey to the map, the Sanborn map of 1932 on page 9. And you'll see that the west side of the building, it starts to come apart. So there's a 1-story appendage that was removed that's shown on this 1932 map. And then by the time we get to the next official drawing of the building, it's not until 1979 where we see there's a building permit application for a renovation to the west side of the house with complete window replacement. And this portion of the building is no longer there.
Where is that?
That is on
That's
page-
very, very helpful. The 79 tells a big part of the story.
Right, so that's on page 11, which shows you the original floor plan that was submitted for the 1979 revision, which was approved, and we have the C of O in here as well, on page 12, that describes the work being done in accordance with these drawings.
So that westerly exterior wall, I just want to focus on, is that where the addition is going to butt up against, was radically changed in 79. All new fenestrations, new windows, everything. So you're not losing any historic integrity by putting an addition up to that western wall. That's the whole point of that comment. And I want to be very clear about that. I think that's helpful.
And one of our kind of design goals in terms of adding to this building was to make it obviously very subservient and supplemental to the main building. So that's why we added it only at the west. And you'll see, as if you look at the plan on page 23, the building is added in such a way that the four corners of the existing structure are maintained. So where we added to the building, we pulled it in off of the edges of the original structure so that those corners are maintained, and you would always be able to read the original kind of square of that existing plan.
So it's fair to say, with the exception of trying to recreate that open porch, you're really not touching the existing building, or am I being oversimple about
No,
that?
that's really the only thing we're doing on the existing building, is restoring that porch, that front porch. And you can see that probably most clearly on the elevation, the drawn elevation of the building, which is page 26, which shows the existing elevation and then the proposed elevation just below it.
It's much more like what was, I think, pretty obviously there originally.
So yeah, you can see in the existing elevation, there's a block of this porch that's been filled in, and there are 3 windows there, 3 big double-hung windows. That's where we think the front door used to be, but pushed back further in plane with the wall of the house and not out at the perimeter of the porch. So what happens now is the front door is actually on the side of that little block, and you can see these in the photos.
So
of
you think the original front door was in the curtain wall of the house?
I'm sorry?
It was against the curtain wall of the house.
Yeah, I think they're
Yes.
And they're right.
Yeah.
I would think yes.
Also because of the fireplace on the interior. right
Yeah,
there.
and also when you look at the weird detailing of where it exists right now, would never have been original. Okay.
Right, so there's some good pictures of that front porch and what it's doing on page 13, which shows the existing partially enclosed porch now, and it's showing what happened to the front door, which obviously used to face First Neck Lane and is now
Yeah.
tucked in on the side of that addition.
It's that weird clip.
Yeah.
That
We
never
would like
went
to
in.
restore that door.
And the
put it back
proportion,
in the
of
front.
the door is completely wrong to the wall
Yeah.
as it currently existing.
The underside of the door is
And
cut
you look
for the
here.
angle of the porch.
Yeah. Yeah.
They basically just put finished flooring down over the porch material.
I wish there were drones in 1929. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that would be.
And the final request for the renovation would be to replace all of the doors and windows in the building. They were replaced completely in 2015.
Yeah, I was going to say that there's a 2015 date, right? Yeah.
Yes, 2015.
They're all Marvins or
Every
something.
window was replaced, and they were replaced with literal replacement units. So the casings weren't taken out, the openings weren't touched, just these kind of aluminum framed units went into those openings.
My
Yeah.
one question, except the side lights, right? The side lights at the front door, which you're preserving?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
okay. Those were not replaced. Those are not replicas. Those are
Right,
original.
no, that's
Okay.
original.
Okay.
And Zach and I spent some time over there, and Zach, we looked everywhere for an original window, but there was nothing left.
Okay.
And I think you can get a good sense of the before and after, based on these renderings that we're showing. Starting on page 35, you'll see we have photographs of the existing building, and then we have renderings that are proposed in the same orientations and views. We would be proposing to restore the building based on its original material palette. Red cedar shingle roof and sidewall, and white painted trim for the doors and windows.
This is on the existing.
On the existing, yes. Now, the house actually has kind of a interesting combination of window styles. You'll see when you go there, you'll see there's a lot of 12/2 units, that are the primary windows in the major spaces, and then there are these kind of secondary 6/6 units. Now, if you look at the house, you see kind of one of the characteristic features of the house are these very large overhangs, especially on the front gable. Well, you'll see them around the house, but you can see them very clearly on the front gable, these big returns on these large overhangs at the house. And those sidewalls come down so that a 12/2 would not fit on those sidewalls because of the length of the roof coming down. So that's where they have the 6/6. And they reserve the 12/2 for the spaces on the first floor, and on the second floor, the spaces in the gable faces, where the gable face is opened up enough and avoids those large overhangs and returns. And we would follow the same logic in terms of the location of our windows. One thing we would change in terms of the trims, we would do a very small roof overhang. So we're not going to match the depth of the roof overhangs. They're close to 30 inches. We would keep ours probably under a foot. We would like to keep the trims right up against the sidewall to kind of make a distinction between the existing kind of exaggerated roof lines and what we would consider to be a quieter silhouette.
That's, of course, to do what we're supposed to do, is to make it the distinction.
An obvious departure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's thought out. Yet generally, obviously, still within the general vernacular.
Okay. You ready? Board members, comments?
I have to go there. It's too much to look at a little.
That's a lot to take in.
Whoop.
Yeah, I think look, it's an important property. I think we do need to see it on site. I will tell you, I have two thoughts. One is what you're trying to do to the front door feels correct to the house, because I don't think you would have a house where you couldn't find the front door in that time and phrase. And I think when you look at the way that it was moved, it was obviously not original because it didn't make any sense. I'm a little concerned that although you say that you're making an obvious departure, I'm not sure it's quite obvious enough, because when I look at the size and the massing of the extension, the addition, like your column details are the same, your roof details are the same. Most of the windows over there, they're 6/6, and they're not necessarily, but the obvious departure, like if someone walked up and looked at that house, could they obviously tell what was not part of the original house, yes or no? Or does it look like one cohesive house and we're done? So that's one of the reasons I want to look at on site. I'm not 100% sure that there's enough visual distinction between the completion of the extension and the original house. It's one concern that I have.
Well, I would say also, keep in mind when you go there, you'll see this too. The elevations are frenetic. I mean, the windows are all over the place. There's not
most of our historic houses
strong
are.
logic to them.
Right.
Once you understand it, there is, but otherwise, there's a lot of, looks like chaos, but it's really not.
I know. They've taken
But
that
to-
chaos out of Landinge now and ruined it. So yes,
Okay.
I understand
Well,
what was done to that
I think
house.
our point was to, yes, we're using the same units, but they're in a much
But I mean,
simpler
your dormer
geometry.
detail is not particularly different. Your column detail is not particularly different. Your roof detail is not particularly different on the extension from the original house. So my question is are your choices obvious enough to someone they could say this was the original house and this was an addition? That's my question.
I think if you look at the massing in whole, you'll see that, because all four corners of the original structure are visible, because the building actually connects to the addition with a structure that's inset from the exterior walls.
Okay, I'm just telling you what one of my concerns is, and it's one of the things I want to look at when I see the house.
Sure.
Other board members?
I thought is it subservient in size?
Well, it doesn't
It's
have
pretty
to be
big.
subservient in size. It has to be subservient in height.
Well,
and
to
Well, it has-
me, it's It's a big hunk of
It's
house, that's what.
Well, it's actually undersized for the property right now. It's only at 41%.
I know, I read all those
I-
things.
The
That
question is
doesn't
it
matter to
undersized
me.
for the property? The question,
Right.
is it
How does
oversized
it
or
look?
undersized
Well-
to the original structure is the
Well,
question.
and it's also oversized or undersized based on its neighbors, right? I mean,
There's a
it's,
question
it
about
should
that.
be consistent in the neighborhood. And if you look at page 33, you'll see this aerial view of multiple properties here along First Neck Lane with our addition, you know, rendered into the layout. And
But-
it seems like it fits.
Well, the house presents pretty big on its lot when you try to look through the automatic gate. I mean, but I had been back there for another time.
It's a very
Um,
large lot.
Yes, huge.
It's a
Which
very
is
large house.
then,
It's 106,000 square
I think
feet.
it's-
but it really, you know,
It's well
It's not such a
executed because
wide-
of the oddity of the fenestration that happens in other places. They kind of duplicated that in the new spaces, which oddly makes it make sense. The
Yeah.
chaos.
The chaos had, well,
I mean, and to make it different, yes, I see what you're saying about like the spacing and the columns, etc. But like, then
yeah,
it,
it looks,
but then it like drives me crazy that the roof line doesn't match up from the existing sunroom to the new addition.
well, I think there might be a way to do that where it's a little
Right.
more obvious, because one of the restoration rules is
That
it's
is
not
different.
supposed to,
that
Right.
yeah.
that
Right.
It's
an
tempting, though.
obvious departure.
Well, the
Then
reason
like,
I-
dare I say, standing seam roof or something to change it. And make
Do
it
not, do
That's
not,
what-
do not,
You get a rash if you do that.
do
Kathy-
not.
Kathy, do you have any
The
thoughts or questions?
horses are not in the backyard, no.
The reason I bring up the kind of frenetic nature of the windows is because I think there's already so much going on here. To start making an addition look different than,
That is one of the rules.
It would look
Sand-
weird if it was symmetrical all of a sudden and the rest of the property is not.
or, I mean, we are changing the detailing. For example, the standard casing size on the house is 6 inches, which is a lot. We were gonna reduce to 4.5, which is, again, just a subtler version of
I
what's
hear
already
you.
there.
I'm saying, but you've heard my comment. It's one of the
Yeah.
things I'll be looking at when I go on site and see it, because
Yeah.
it's, you know, some of those things also change when you're on site and realize what it's going to look like in 3 dimension. But it's just, I'm just putting on the table that it is a concern.
Okay.
Like you didn't go from, like the dormer match, you didn't go for a shed dormer where there was, and it may be fine, but I need to go look at it. It's just something that's on my mind.
Okay.
Also, this big sort of esplanade steps down to the grass, or don't look in keeping with the rest of the.
House.
Where's been done?
Oh,
On the
you'll,
west
you'll see,
tower?
that's actually existing. There's a terrace off the back now that has those steps there.
Good look. We really need to go, because.
Kathy,
good
Jane,
luck
any
seeing
other
that.
comments, questions? Now's the
No, I
time.
think a site visit sounds appropriate.
Are we gonna be sure that these gates are truly gonna open?
Well, we didn't, you know,
They didn't
Well,
open
we could
today.
go
They
after
didn't
this
open
and
today.
see
I got
if they
3 people
open.
to
It's
try.
dark
I got
out.
3
Did
people
not
to try it
open
independently. They didn't open.
I
so-
went pretty up to it.
You went pretty up to it?
Yeah, I
I got a
did,
big car.
just to see.
Anyway, we're
If
going to
you
leave it,
want-
Alex, we're going to leave it to you to organize
Sure. If
this.
you want to check with the homeowner, check with the gate,
Sure.
let
Yeah.
me know, and
Sure.
if we
Yeah,
need to set
'cause
up times. we
I'm
can-
always
I
worried
think
they're
this
gonna
is
come out and
much.
shoot me if I go.
And we can do this, you can be there, and if you're there, it'll be separate meetings, since we can't have more than 2
What?
people there at a
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
We cannot,
You
yes,
could
we
be.
we
You don't know
cannot
who's
meet
in there.
on site more than 2 people, or it becomes a public
This is
meeting.
much better.
So if we do that, then we do a series of meetings, or we can go on our own and wander around. So we'll see
Could we
from
do
there.
like different days?
What,
whichever you prefer.
I think what I prefer is you get closer to the mic. I'm getting, yeah. Hey, guys.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's probably time to take public comment anyway, right?
Yeah,
Okay, we're about
right.
to. Okay, are there comments from the public? Okay, so I think you should adjourn this. We should set up a on-site visit.
Great.
And we'll set it up through Alex in the building department, and
When do you
then
wanna
we'll
put it over?
be here again on April 13th. This works for you?
Great.
Okay. So I'm going to motion to accept the applicant's request for adjournment for 303 First Neck Lane to April 13th. Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Nice standing seam roofs, right?
do you see a lot of them on First Neck Lane on historic houses? Just ask
Where's
him.
your board
He was
member?
teasing me.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I
that
have
takes
such a
us to
thing.
2 Meadow Lane. Do you have the affidavits and are they in order?
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
I didn't care about it. This seems pretty straightforward, no?
could start by pulling that microphone closer
Sure.
and introducing yourself.
Good evening. My name is Eric Foister, Senior Associate at Sawyer Bergson. I'm here to talk about a few changes we'd like to make to Two Meadow Lane.
Okay.
So I think the four exhibits tell the story of the changes to the house. So on Exhibit A,
Hang on. Okay. Make sure they can get it on the
Okay.
camera. Give them a minute. So the public can follow along. Okay.
okay. This is our south ocean facing porch, and what's currently approved at the last ARB hearing, back in September of '24, is this chamfered edge with columns wrapping around, and it's fully covered, it's fully roofed. And so on the right, our proposed changes are to fill in the corners, which are 13 square feet of each corner. So it's squaring off the porch and then pulling the roof back. So where it was out past the edge of the porch, we want to continue the roof line. And so that this dashed line indicates our proposed roof just continues instead of jutting out. And so in doing so, we remove 4 columns in the process. These 4 columns go away, and these 2 move to keep the paired column motif continuous. And then just below the first floor plan is the roof plan. And so where the roof had its upper parapet railing and it followed the chamfered corners of the porch below, we're now continuing our roof. So this aligns and goes straight across. And this red dash line indicates where the roof was. And now it's pulled back 10 foot 5.5 inches. In section, this looks something like Exhibit B. So the entablature wrapped around, as you can see, there were 6 columns supporting the roof extension, and then there was a parapet rail. So we're proposing, this red line indicates where it is, the pulled back roof, and then now the parapet rail wraps around just the front of the window well, and then it goes up the sides and terminates where the roof meets the wall beyond.
Now, have you already framed and built this?
So this is currently framed and built, that's correct. So
you didn't come for ask permission.
We
You
are
went ahead and
here.
built it.
I assure you,
You went ahead
we're
and built
here.
it, and now you're coming back and asking us to prove it's already been built.
In effect, that's a factual statement. I would assure you I'm here to ask for permission and not, we're here to ask for permission, right? The way this was built is we just did not build the extension. It's something that can be added, and we fully expect that if this isn't approved, that we would continue with what's approved back in September, which is the fully roofed proportion.
What exists right now?
What exists right now is the proposed, what's on the right side of the
Already
drawing.
built it. Okay. We so generally
The
prefer when
story
people
of
come
our-
ask us before they built
Yeah.
it, just put that out there.
I know
Okay.
that, for, yes, that
Okay.
is,
All right, so
believe you.
what I say to the board members is, just look at it as it doesn't exist. You can make your choice either way. Okay?
right, and replacing the roof extension that's proposed to be removed is a retractable awning, which is an off-white Marcolux that fits underneath the overhang, and then fully extends and covers the extended porch floor. The images on Exhibit C showcase the proposed changes. So on the left is what was approved by the ARB, and you can see the white entablature wraps around. There are the 6 supporting columns, and then that parapet rail also follows that perimeter. And then on the right side is the proposed. So this roof line is continuous. There still is a 6'6" overhang that covers the lower portion of our living room windows. And the parapet rail is largely the same height. It's 1'11". No material change to that.
Okay. Board members.
How come you didn't render in the awning sticking out?
The awning's rendered closed.
It's pretty windy over there. Let's see how long that lasts.
Yeah, I was just like, give that about a minute.
It has an
Yeah,
automatic
20
closer.
minutes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a
which every time you
real-
put it out, they come right back.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I think
We thought this was more the natural state of it being closed.
I don't have a problem with it other than the timing.
Me too.
Okay. I would suggest don't come back again with something that's already been built. If there's something else that
Yeah.
you're going to change.
Tell us
because,
now.
You know, it's just,
This is
we spent a lot of time with you on, a lot of time
Yeah.
with you on this project, and it's got a lot of public eyes on it because of its size, scale, and location. So we would just know that we would prefer that you come and ask us, you know, permission before you build something, come ask us to approve it.
Mhm.
Okay?
Thank you. Yes, I fully respect that. And
Okay.
there's a second minor part to our application, and
Okay.
that's driveway unification. So it's not something that's visible from the public thoroughfare, but we also plan on applying for this when we go back to the building department.
He's on A1.
So if we start at A001, so this red hatched area, I'll turn the second page because A002 has it enlarged. So this red box is the roof overhang that we were just discussing. And this hatched area is a proposed connection between the Two Meadow and Two Gin driveways.
Oh.
So is that us or is that building department?
I don't know who,
I
is that
we
for
s-
Alex?
Was
Are
there- what
we
was
in the
question?
driveway business?
We're reunifying the driveway from Two Meadow to Two Gin.
So they own the
Yeah, it
front,
goes across the very
the
It's a-
front
it's a
property?
compound.
setback.
Yeah, got it?
Yeah.
Right.
So
And
who
it
does
crosses
that?
a setback line.
Not us.
There typically isn't a setback line for pavement. You're just talking about an at-grade
Yeah,
driveway.
and I can tell you that we spoke to Chris Talbot,
And he told you to come to us?
he didn't say that we needed.
Okay.
He didn't say that we needed technically ARB approval, but we told him we were going back. He said just put it all together. The client owns both properties, and there's a filed easement allowing them to cross it. So we just wanted to
Okay.
include this.
All right.
So really, fine. I mean, we don't really have
Yeah,
much to do with it,
it's
right?
the back, and you don't really see it, but all right.
What
All
is,
right.
what is the driveway made out of?
It's gravel. It's a native gravel blend.
I have no objection.
All right. Jane, any public comment? All right, then. Other than timing, motion to approve the application for,
Written decision.
move to written decision to approve the application for 2 Meadow Lane based on drawings presented on, what's today?
The 23rd.
March 23rd. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. All right, okay, so that takes us to,
Would you recall beachhead, or do I adjourn? I got here late for the sign permit. And I was wondering if it was approved, or,
I think what we tried to do is we decided to just send it back to the signage committee, because what
Okay.
we didn't have in the file was the picture with the posts in it.
you have it now, though?
We haven't, well,
Okay.
it'll go to the signage
Someone
committee.
has.
Yeah, the signage
Someone has
committee.
it. Okay,
And I
thank
think
you.
Jane says she approved it, and I think I did, we just don't have the pictures to show it. So we'll do it out of session, we can do
Okay.
that, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that takes us to non-historic. The first one is 1010 Meadow Lane.
Okay, yes. Trying to get you another chair. I'll stand up here. John Bennett for the applicant, and Chris Coy and Lauren Zucker from Barnes Coy are with me.
Great.
We were here on March 9th. In
Yep.
response to some comments raised by the board, we submitted revised elevations. It appeared to me that the board was comfortable with the proposed alterations except with respect to one window on the east elevation, and that's been modified by breaking up the window between floors. This is not a see-through window. It's not one of those windows that you have to look at where you see through the front, through the back. It's on the east side of the property. I want to, so it's not located on the front facade. But again, we broke up the window. It's not a wall. It's not one big.
It's two windows.
It's two windows, not because of the street. Here it is right here, and that's the proposal here. It's about 112 feet from the Frist property, between this elevation, this side adjacent to the home. And it's well screened, and again, it's not, I know the board has had problems with people presenting windows where you can see through the house, and they're all glass, but we've broken this window. It's no longer one window, it's two windows. And I don't know if your board will remember, on 292.
John, do me a favor, get closer to the
Okay,
mic. They
I
can't
I
hear
don't
you
know
in
if
the
your
back.
board will remember, it's on 200 Pond Lane, which is a Howard house. That's exactly, the board had a concern about it because it was a floor-to-ceiling window, and we broke it up into 2 windows. That was the Howard House on 292 Ox Pasture. I mean, I have the before and after on that if you want to see it. I don't think it's necessary, but and then on that was 200 Pond Lane. I'm sorry, that was 200 Pond Lane, the Howard House, and then on 292 Ox Pasture with Anka and Jürgen Friedrich, same thing. Your board was concerned about the floor-to-ceiling windows, and we broke it into 2 windows.
All right, sir, why don't you walk us through it?
Okay, so that, you would remember from 2 weeks ago, the
Yep.
concern was that this was one double-story height window. So in response to your suggestion, we divided it into 2 windows, and there's this now, this
You're on page
trimmed.
40, what page are you on? A4.
What am I on? A4.1.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, you can see it there. So in response to your suggestion, we made it 2 windows, broken up by this panel here, which is a raised panel, flat trim, which is typical of this kind of detailing for this period house. Instead of continuing the shingles through, which would not be proper. It would look too thin. So it's now 2 windows, and your other concern was, stemming from that large window, was that it faced another house, and there would be possibly a large amount of light coming through there. So I wanted to introduce a couple of photographs here. So in the spring, summer, and fall, when this stuff is all in bloom, you can see that we have, here's the window in question around here on the east side, and I've got another one to show you that it's pointed right at the east side. But this clearly shows that you've got a triple row of very, very thick screening. Here's the other one here. So there's actually the window as it is now. You can see that clearly there. And the 2 windows we're going to make out of it, which is very close to actually what we have. It's just more attractive. You can see this thick jungle between the 2 houses. There's no way they would even ever see this house, let alone see any light coming from that window. So I don't think that's going to be a concern. But I think you were more concerned about the architecture. So we took the 1 window, we made it into 2 windows, and it's as simple as that.
And based upon the aerials, it's approximately 112 feet between this elevation and the side of the adjacent home. So that third will fit a little bit more.
Okay.
And again, I know that I've seen many times people try to get these through windows, floor to ceiling, and that's
Do you see
not
those
looking
here?
from the front to the rear
Yes.
of the house, so that's not
And
what's
then
going
sometimes they drop a big chandelier. That
on. Yes, exactly.
Board members, questions, comments?
I think it's fine. Yeah.
Is a window band happening in other locations on this house?
No.
Pardon?
Is this detail that you've added happening in other locations on the house?
No.
No.
I kind of don't mind that.
That's
It's
the
a
one
little
time it happens,
relief.
yeah.
You said it was part of the vernacular,
Little
so I was
relief,
asking where.
yeah.
No, that's a good question. Jane?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. I actually think breaking up the window helps. I actually think it helps that side of the house. It feels a little more cohesive to the house and takes care of the issue that the board had, so I think I'm fine with it. Are there questions from the public? Okay, so with that, I'm going to motion to approve the application for 1010 Meadow Lane as presented on March 23rd. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so that brings us, as long as I don't foul my paperwork, which happens occasionally, to...
Do we have someone here for 266 North Sea Road?
266 North Sea Road.
I had called earlier. We have an issue with their affidavit.
Are they not here? 266 North Sea Road.
See if you can check online for us.
Okay.
Make sure they're not coming by Zoom.
Yeah?
They are?
I don't know.
Okay.
How old is this house?
Did you say yes?
Yeah, they're apparently online. Hello?
You hear me?
I can.
How are you?
I'm well. Would you introduce yourself, please?
I am Keith Considine. representative 266 North Sea Road, Corporate LLC.
Okay.
Keith, did you do the affidavits on this property, or is that someone in your office?
Yes.
Because the affidavit of mailing is not signed, and the affidavit of posting is not dated at the appropriate date.
What, notary, right?
Pardon?
We got everything notarized and handed it to Francis.
It's notarized on the incorrect date. It needs to be sworn, the posting affidavit needs to be sworn to and notarized as of the date of the hearing, because you're swearing that the posting was up for the entire statutory period.
Okay.
So now what?
So what's our way forward?
See you next time?
So they have
Okay.
they have to update that before we can take jurisdiction.
Correct.
Okay. So you'll correct that, and we'll see you at the next meeting.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So do we need a motion to adjourn?
No. 'cause we didn't
Nope.
take jurisdiction.
We didn't even touch it, so to speak.
Okay. So, short thing. So that takes us to 84 Corrigan Street to construct a 2-story single-family dwelling and accessory structure.
We have the affidavits and they're in order.
Thank you.
Of course.
For the sign folder. Yeah. That's
Okay, I'll put the other thing in there. Floating.
I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send. This weighs a ton coming down for a sign application.
Oh,
That's all one sign.
Bank of America sent all these
oh God,
samples.
they sent like 5 people. It's so crazy.
Okay.
I want it to be.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My
Do me a
name
favor,
is-
pull the mic close and
Certainly.
introduce yourself.
My name is Bob O'Shea. I'm the architect for the project at 84 Corrigan Street.
Great.
Okay. I usually like to start to give a little context to the property, so I'll introduce the project by showing you a study of the streetscape that we put together from Bernardine Street down on looking to the east side of Corrigan Street, where we're proposing from Bernardine down to the corner of Hill Street.
Okay.
We are a vacant lot, approximately in the center of that, with 6 properties to the north and 5 to the south that are currently developed, with a full range of design styles, sizes, and shapes. So we have designed a 2-story building with covered front and rear porches that we feel will fit in nicely with this built neighborhood. I'll show you that in this rendering. We're proposing a shingle, a white cedar shingle siding with a light bleaching oil. This will then be surrounded with white divided light windows, casings, rake boards, fascias, and columns, and a natural red cedar shingle roof. You can see we've placed some white gutters and leaders on the building, and we feel that this, as I said, will complement the built neighborhood as it currently exists. And if the board or anyone has some questions, I will do my best to answer them.
Okay.
We need to see the front tour.
Okay, board members. Who wants to
No
go
idea.
first?
Not me. Someone else. What's with,
Okay, I'll start. I think the front of the house, the facade, the way you've inset the wedding, the roof is too heavy. The inset windows don't work facing the front, and this sort of mysterious balcony facing the front and the way that's inset is atypical of the neighborhood and too heavy, and I think it's too much. And I don't think it works. The way that the front-facing roof actually intersects with sort of the peplum roof heading and down to the side elevations is heavy and seems disconnected. And then these sort of odd bump-out dormer situations over the sides, or just bring it back down and just put a single roof line. I think it's over-rendered and overwrought. And then you have heavy detail, and then you have scaling detail in the 2 at the top, the 2 peaks going. It's I think that's too heavy. I think the column spacing in the front is, I rarely say this, I don't think, there's either not enough of them or the size looks thin and kind of skimpy. And I sort of had the same comment for the back. This whole drop-down heavy roof with inset windows, hidden porch situation, it feels atypical of what we normally see, and it feels sort of inelegant and atypical and not harmonious to the other houses that I see in the neighborhood.
That's a lot. Okay.
I'll agree with Mark. I think that the roof lines make it look very heavy in the front. And then going from a very heavy facade and rear to have the next level bounce up and down is a little, it doesn't look grounded on the top.
Well, it looks like
with
it
the
sank.
movement.
It looks like it sank, the second floor.
It's like the bottom is too grounded, the top is not grounded enough.
And I would like to just mention that in the rendering, I really wondered what the roof was made out of, because it looked like it was some sort of multiple tile level or something. It doesn't at all look shingle. That's what you're proposing, is a shingled roof?
Yes, it is a natural cedar shingle roof, yes.
So I actually like Kathy's. It almost looks like the second floor sunk 2 feet, just because of the heaviness of the roof and the way the windows and the balconies are set in.
When you say that the heaviness of the roof, what do you?
You see where the roof line hits the house? The roof line hits the house above the windows. And then the windows sink down, and then you've had to set in the roof to make room to be able to see out the windows over the roof.
That's on the rear.
And the front.
The rear
And
you're
it's
talking.
completely atypical to what we normally see in the Hamptons, and it honestly, it looks like a mistake. And then because the roof is flat and goes all the way across the front, and you see the way it completes at both the east and the west side of the front facade it's not elegant in its attachment to the house, and it's not elegant in its attachment to the side roof that goes back. So it just makes the house look awkward and sort of, it doesn't feel top heavy, it feels mid heavy, which is sort of a weird comment, I suppose, but it's not working.
But there are other houses on Corrigan and in that neighborhood that do have a lot of front porches, but it's like they're trimmer and narrower. They feel more balanced with the house in that neighborhood.
Well, the one thing I can right from the start can say that I actually agree with what you say is the transition to the sides of the house. That was actually bothering me myself, and I sat and actually yesterday and touched that up a little.
But who's designing the house? Is an architect working in this house or an engineer?
I am the architect.
Okay, all right.
That eyebrow roof that was running along the sides of the house was actually bothering me some in the transition. So if you can, I have smaller versions that I can hand up to you, or if you want to look at the board.
On that bottom image.
No, I think we're not going to design a house here. We're going to comment on what you've submitted.
But I
and then
would
we'll
just
give you the comment.
show you a little feedback, something that occurred to me.
Okay. That's fair.
That you had just commented on.
Okay.
That eyebrow running along the north and south sides of the house was actually bothering me as well. So I adjusted this and just had a shingled roof return, similar to what we have on both gable roofs facing the front and the rear. And then what I was showing here, or attempting to show, is that I would just flare out the shingle on the shingle siding material about 8 to 10 inches to meet that fascia line that would separate the first and floor, just to break up a 2-story wall with, rather than that eyebrow roof with a flared out shingle wall, which would accomplish the same thing but tie together better at the front porches where they transition around to the side. So that's something that was actually in my head as well.
So for me, the inset windows I never think they're good looking, and certainly in the front, it just, I
We-
don't know how you reconfigure it, but you gotta have more breathing space somewhere.
What are the
He's
inset
right
windows?
about
I'm sorry.
The two center ones above
Yeah.
the front door,
Okay. The-
That
that
just,
pair.
that just drags everything down, doesn't it? And kind of takes the,
And also, you know, from a corner view, the relationship with the side windows to the street-facing windows, they seem to be different heights and different depths.
These, if I can, maybe if I could just look at the elevation rather than the rendering. You're talking about the three in the center above
Yeah.
the front
yeah,
entry.
yeah, yeah.
Well, those are different. Those are, you know.
Well, I'm not talking about those, I'm talking about the ones on the side of the house, but Kathy, I
I
believe,
am
is,
talking.
Kathy and Susan are talking about the three that are in that inset
We,
mysterious area, I think. Yeah.
So the two pairs arc on the, let's say, the left side, if you're right, are these the ones?
These,
Because they do seem higher than
Yeah.
the, yeah.
if you look at if
Oh,
you look at, is there-
Well, the
yeah, what you're
head.
calling your north elevation.
Right.
Right.
The second floor almost looks under fenestrated compared to compared to the west elevation. The north elevation looks under fenestrated on the second floor, and I think they look like they're raised up by these shed dormers, or these sheds that you put on the roof line. That it's not working.
Well, I can
The pop-up and the pot down.
just to clarify, this could be sometimes there's some rendering error, where the head of those windows are uniform. Those are at the same height as the front and rear elevation. The sill of the window is higher, just for furnishing purposes within the room. The reason those shed dormers are there was to
Increase
make
light.
room so I could keep the windows at the same head height.
Well, there's probably another way to do that. All right. I think part of the problem is the porch that goes all the way across the front is forcing all sorts of problems. And by the way, your west elevation drawing on if you could actually, are the pages even numbered?
Well, yes, it's 2A4, but I did.
Okay, but if I look at, if your front west elevation on whatever page this is,
Yes.
you've got triple gang windows,
Right, and on this is
and
two.
then they're double gangs that inset into a roof line that doesn't exist. Your renderings don't match your drawings.
No, no, it does. The rendering shows a triple gang of windows facing
I'm sorry,
the
it
west.
has two sets of triple gang windows, right?
Yes.
6 pane, 4 pane.
Oh,
What?
the Munton divisions are
Is that
different.
what the problem is?
Because the roof's not drawn in on this elevation. This is a structural.
No,
But
Okay,
you're
alright.
correct, Mark. This is
Okay.
4.
All right.
and those are
For lights,
Yeah,
not.
correct.
Yeah, it's the grill pattern is different, but the number of windows are the same. I know on the rear elevation, there's a gang of 2 windows, not 3.
Good. So I think you hear the comments. What other guidance can we give you to come back with a different version of this?
The first thing you said is that the roof, the porch roof, front and rear, is a little heavy and overwhelming. Is that?
it might be,
But even with how the roof,
isn't it,
like this strange, just
That's
strange
what
lines. It's like, why?
and that's what I tried to.
Yeah.
I said that had been bothering me as well on the sides, and I believe I have solved that in the
Okay.
in the other elevations I brought here this evening.
Okay.
But I mean that That I agreed, but I'm just trying to understand the other issues. You're unhappy with the weight of the
Yeah.
porch roofs, the front and rear.
Yeah, I think you just need to rethink the visual weight of it.
The columns seem much too thin to be holding up that roof.
Okay.
That's, is that the front of the back of the house? That's actually, I think that's the backyard.
The back of the house has
Has the car.
has double windows on the in the gables, where the front has three.
That too, 'cause that's the rear. That, the rear is where the roof line drops down to accommodate windows. And you still got this odd attachment over here.
Yeah.
That is
Right.
odd.
Yeah.
So, what happens if you do that?
Well, he's here, he'll have to go back and come back with us with another.
It's
It sounds like you're
complicated.
solving some other issues with the side that we're having already, though, which is good.
Yeah. And do you guys, let's give everything. Any comments on the garage slash, which is actually a pool
No,
house?
I thought the garage slash pool house looked okay. If the house was
Yeah.
more,
Is
it's simpler.
There's-
Right?
and lighting, is there going to be lighting next to the doors, or?
No, the lighting-
Any-
Any surface
Outdoor
mounted,
lighting.
any surface mounted lighting?
No, the lighting only on the garage. There are some.
Yeah, I see those.
Yes, which will be a
Sidelights.
full canopy over the bulb. We can bring you a cut sheet on those, certainly.
I'm assuming on your rear elevation that that's an inset balcony? Or is that just windows?
In the center portion, that's a hidden.
Yeah.
It's like 4 feet in depth only.
Okay, so that would
Yeah.
also, if there's doors, it would require exterior surface mounted lighting, right?
There's a door. Nothing what you're seeing there is a door. There's a door out of the master bedroom, which would be on your left as you're looking at this.
Okay.
And any light we would have there would simply be a simple downlight out of the soffit that's outside of that door, outside the door.
Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, April 13th?
Okay, I don't want to take too much of your time, but
Yeah,
I want to make sure I cover
No,
everything.
ask, please, ask questions.
Work on the visual weight of the roof separating the first and second floor. Maybe I can better illustrate my transition going around to the side as I described to you this evening.
Maybe.
If the roof is going to remain somewhat heavy, you'd like to see a more substantial column design to support it, and work on a way to either lower or the shed dormers on the sides of the houses need some work on those as well. That's, I think, is what I'm hearing from the board.
Yep, and
tonight.
take a good look at your your north elevation fenestration for the second story, because when you change the roof line, you may be able to adjust the size of those windows, because the second story looks a little under fenestrated.
And would that carry to the other side as well? Let me see.
On which south, Mark, or north?
North seems to be more of a problem to me than south, because you've got a larger window here. See, there's window relation here between first and second, and here there's nothing that
Right.
relates.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, I see, the center,
Yeah.
I understand what you mean.
Okay.
The wall space between the two dormers.
And there's the window sizing relationship between the first and the second floor.
Okay.
Okay.
North elevation fenestration.
Are there comments from the public? April 13th work?
It does.
Okay, so I'm going to motion to accept the
There's
application.
the hand up, apparently.
Oh, hand up, okay.
This is a porch on the front also.
On the second floor.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's an inside porch. If we think that's a problem, tell them now.
No.
Good.
I'm not. But it's gonna
Hello?
change.
Good evening. Larry?
Sorry, let me get off mute. I'm the neighbor, 94 Corrigan Street, house immediately to the north of the subject property. I appreciate everything.
What's your
board's-
full name, please?
Yeah, Lawrence A. Cirillo.
I'm sorry, can you spell your last
Yeah.
name for us?
Yeah, sure, Ceriello.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So I've owned a 94 Corrigan since 2013, but only completed the house that exists there now in 2025. So fairly new construction. Some members of this board were on the board when I came before you a couple years ago. My comments are fairly minor. I do appreciate what this board has commented on. I didn't quite understand why the massing of the house and the facades didn't work for me, but I think you hit it. Two really important thoughts for me. I was shocked at how far back on the property the garage was placed. That's not typical on this side, the east side of Corrigan Street, because those are fairly deep lots as compared to the west side where they're more shallow. That's the builder's prerogative. And this is a house being built for specs, to be clear. But it does put the garage right next to my pool. My pool is set back on the property. And between the pool and my house is a lawn. It's large enough that we had my daughter's wedding there during COVID. So it's a significant feature of the house. But I was surprised that this builder wouldn't take advantage of the depth of that property to maximize the lawn. It does push the house back, the garage back rather, and it's a very, very long driveway. Shockingly long, frankly, in my view, but again, his prerogative. So my concern is one of landscaping. All the landscaping showed on the plan is provided either by my property or the property at 74 Corrigan Street. It's, I believe, by the Hurley family, formerly Cuomo's house. There's just not enough screening between the properties if I'm going to have 7 cars going up and down that driveway on the side of my house. I'm really not happy about that. And that brings up the related issue of drainage. I was looking at the plan. I couldn't really figure out the drainage plan. And maybe this is a building department issue.
I think the drainage would be a building department issue.
Yeah, okay, so then for the purposes of the architect there tonight, I can communicate with you offline, but I want to make sure I don't get run off onto my property from yours. And then the last point, I didn't think there was a balcony. I looked at the floor plans for that, off the back of the house that is, because you may remember me protest. I wasn't planning a balcony off the back of my house. I've got a great backyard. If I want a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, I'm going back down to the ground floor. I'm not going to sit on a roof to drink it. I don't really understand why there's such a desire of builders to put balconies in, except that they give them a few more square feet of sellable area. But this balcony is going to look over my yard. And I was specifically told that I couldn't have a balcony on my house, even though I didn't want one, because I could look over his yard. So I'm disappointed that there's any talk about a balcony, even 4 feet deep, off the back of this house. I have grandkids running around in the backyard. I don't want anybody, and they don't have hedges. They're going to be my hedges. I think that balcony should come out. I didn't see it on the floor plans. Maybe I missed it.
I think you missed it.
Okay. I don't understand why this board is going to set balcony off the back of this house when you've told me a number of times that you don't like balconies.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Maybe we should request a landscape plan to accompany this.
That's perfectly fine. I'm happy to provide that.
And I have to, the balcony situation when it's tight, it's not a pretty thing.
No, I understand, and I'm very sensitive to the balconies overlooking people's yards. But this is it's again just to reiterate, it's 4 feet deep, and it's nestled between a roof line in the back and between two projections that completely conceal the balcony. There's no one up there looking off into.
I mean,
There's a wall to each side of it, so you can't look from up there into the space adjacent to it. There's a section of the
question would
building.
be, then, what do you need it for? So it's 4
Well,
feet.
I agree with that. I think the suggestion for a landscape plan is a good one, so the neighbor can see it, is a good one. And I think if any kind of sight line information you can give us from this inside balcony for what you could or could not see from the neighbors would be useful.
Okay, that's easy enough to do.
Okay? Okay, so with that, April 13th?
Certainly.
Okay, so with that, I move to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment for 84 Corrigan to April 13th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll see you then.
Thanks.
Thank you. So that brings us up to 30 Little Plains Road.
We have the affidavits and they're in order.
Thank you. Okay, pull that microphone close because you're a slow talker. Introduce yourself. You've been here a lot. We know you.
Ciolio Architect. This is 30 Little Plain. We have the site plan. We were here previously for a demo evaluation, so we have that approved. So we're gonna have a new house here. Here is the driveway, and it goes all the way to the back, the garage, and a little pool pavilion, swimming pool, and the house with a little front portico and the back porch, and that's the site plan. And then we skip the floor plans, we'll go straight to the elevation. And that's the front elevation, here's the rear elevation. This is the side that faces the south, where the lot with the parking lot. And this is the side that faces north, where there's a small house. And the material is white windows and doors, and the siding is going to be a light gray, and pretty much everything is white. Columns, railings, and trims, everything's white. And the roof is going to be asphalt roof shingles, Grand Manor stone gate. It's like a slate looking gray. And then there's a little bit metal in the front where the bay window is. It's light gray.
Aren't there 2 bay windows?
Yeah, there's two. One, two. In the back, we have the pool pavilion. It's mostly open, only a little corner for bathroom. And then the garage, which is, really just a gable. And we do have a small driveway gate, which is 4'6" high, and it's 43% transparency. It's across the street from the town hall, so they want a little gate.
The one comment I'm going to be is I'd really actually like to see a rendering of this house. Because I think it's hard to actually see here and understand from the line drawings. And I think the fenestration, the way they're coming out on your line drawings, I actually think we need to see it as a rendering to understand it.
And is there a front door?
I'm sorry?
Front door?
Yes.
Is there a front door?
Yes, it's right here.
We can't.
It's on page A3.
Yeah, it just doesn't, it looks like it could just be
Yeah.
windows and not necessarily a front door. That's
Yeah,
why.
this is one of those things where I think a rendering would help, is that it looks like you've got a 4-pane glass over a solid panel door, but it's hard to tell from your line drawings.
True.
And is that a
It is a
transom or
4-pane
wood?
glass
Yeah,
under a solid panel and side lights.
Yeah.
So there are lights above and
There
on
is
either
transom.
side, or
Mhm.
just on either side?
There will be transom on top of the front
Okay.
door, but no transom in other places.
what are they?
Right here.
In those panels above the front door, are those solid glass all the way across the front, or there's panels?
We're gonna have
Divided into
transom
three.
here.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't understand. I
need a-
can't.
Okay, we
I-
need
yeah,
a
We need a
rendering, it's
rendering.
true.
And then on the back of it, the back of the house, and it may be why we need a rendering, does not look like, to me, it belongs to the front of the house. The back of the house looks very contemporary with all open glass, no fenestration except for on the right-hand side. And I'm a little concerned about the depth of the balcony.
The balcony is 7'8" deep.
Yeah, that's why I'm concerned about it.
Oh.
I would need to see a sight line to the neighbors and understand one neighbor, I think, at least. And the back of the house, where the return on the right-hand side of your east elevation, and it may again be the rendering, but the way the roof line, the trim drops down and then hits the return, feels very atypical to what we'd normally see and doesn't match what I see in other areas. And it seems to be not in harmony with the other side, but again, it may be the rendering. So yeah, that's my first thought.
And I would also add that the window wall ratio seems very
Yeah.
Heavy across the back.
back of the house there.
Yeah.
And do those have mullions?
I got that. But, I didn't quite get what Mark is trying to say about.
What Jane is
glass
saying,
on the
when
back?
the window-to-wall ratio, there's a lot of glass.
Yeah,
on
that
the back
one
of
I
the house.
got. But
Yeah.
you said something about the roof lines or something that I didn't get.
Yeah, I'm sorry. See here where this, looks like there's a return,
Yes.
but it's like the trim drops down, this return comes out of like, I don't understand it, and it's not balanced to the other side, so it just feels like an odd trim detail, the way it's finishing out. This feels, am I the
Okay.
only one that's seeing that?
No, I see
No,
that.
no.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Also, the scale of the columns on the back versus the scale of the columns on the front they're just inconsistent.
But what,
And
that I didn't quite get either. The column
the
in the
columns
front
on the back
and the column in the
look
back.
decidedly small with the scale of the roof above them compared to the columns on the front door, which I'm guessing are squares.
It's just one.
Just one.
You mean the back is a
Don't those
little
look
bit
like
fatter?
four columns hanging over, holding up that huge roof.
You mean the back column is a little bit fatter than the front,
The
or?
columns on the railing.
The columns holding up
On
the
the second
roof that's
floor.
underneath where the balcony is, across the back where you have the two sets of sliders, feel thin for the amount of weight that they're holding up. So visually thin. I don't know that I'm sure they're not structurally thin, but visually thin for what they're holding up above them.
Okay.
So when you're rethinking the balcony, and also rethink that, and also the size and the scale of all that glass across the back.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
big columns here on the lower part. And then it goes to like a stick.
Okay.
And then, I'm not convinced, but this is why I want to see the rendering, because I want to be fair to you. I'm not convinced the roof line, the way it's hanging over the front door, is working.
You mean the shed roof?
Yeah, the shed roof just over the door, because then suddenly there's another, because the door, I guess the house bumps, I have to look at the floor plan, it comes out on the left-hand side. It protrudes on the
Yeah,
left-hand
this
side,
left side
which
comes
is why
out.
it's inset. So again, this is another one of the things where I think the rendering will help us.
Okay. All right. I did prepare a little bit of the site plan with the neighbors to
Is that a
show you the
landscape
distance from the
Okay.
balcony. I can,
Is there any landscaping?
Are we
plan?
taking this for tonight?
yes.
No, that was
No.
directed at the
No.
chair.
Should resubmit that.
I don't
This is
think
not in
so.
the file?
You have to come back with it, resubmit it with the renderings.
Yeah.
Because the materials to review have to be in Tuesday before the meeting. So we don't take new materials at meetings, but you've got to come back anyway. So when you submit it, we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Is there a
Yeah.
landscape
So,
plan?
And is there any sort of landscape plan that goes with this so we understand that?
there are existing hedges all across
Okay.
here.
Well, when you
Everywhere
come back,
is
if somebody
existing.
could bring me a landscape plan that shows where those plants
Mhm.
are and how they exist.
Okay.
So we can actually see it on paper.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. All right.
You can get
So-
all that, and you can get all that done by April 13th?
Yeah.
Does
I
the board have
think
any
so.
comments on the driveway gate while we're?
Yeah, there are other, is there other comments other than, I think, I do get what you're trying to say.
What are the materials on the driveway gate?
material for the driveway gate, a white exact. Like, you know, those,
Columns.
they're all
also?
gonna be white,
All white.
exact.
I like the fact that it's short,
Yep.
0.46.
Yeah.
I actually think, I
It's-
actually
Nice
think,
design.
It is across, I understand why they need it,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it's across the
Yeah.
street from
Because-
the town hall.
yeah.
Yeah, which, you know, it's,
I think the gate's handsome. I think the gate's handsome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me see the. Yeah, on my initial thought on the front west elevation, the garage looks nice. Well, I guess which is actually the pool pavilion, no, that's.
whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of. Yeah, I think the general concern is actually the house itself. So take the comments into consideration, bring us a rendering and a landscape plan. Okay?
And the board will remember this property is a National Register Historic District, but it is not designated locally by the village, which is why they're not on for COA.
Right.
But it is nationally recognized.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Well,
Yes. This property, you know this, we talked
It's a
about
weird
it when it came in
designation.
for
It's a weird
demolition.
designation of the
It's
street,
nationally
right.
recognized on the National Register of Historic Places, but it's not locally recognized by the village.
because it's not in a,
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember, sorry.
All right, so April 13th can work for you?
Okay.
Okay, any
Sure.
comments from the public? Okay, so I'm going to motion to accept the applicant's request for adjournment for 30 Little Plains Road to April 13th. Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank
That brings
you.
us to 315 Downs Path.
What decision we made last time?
I don't think it does because it's weird. It's not really weird. It's also weird because of the few.
Never saw us, we didn't have a certificate of appropriateness yet. There was a demo to.
Will you have the affidavits in there in order?
You do?
I do.
Great.
Just in time. No, it's designated as a contributing building to the National Register, but unless you designate it locally, it can be demolished.
Because it wasn't.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not in a
Yes.
historic
Okay.
district.
The National Register is just honorary.
Okay, if you can introduce yourself, please.
That's
Okay.
binding.
Hello? My name is Mike Hill, architect of Studio 3H, representing 315 Downs Path. You should have two primary documents there. I think it would be best to start with the rendering document. It says 315 Downs Path exterior renderings.
Yeah.
You all have that? Okay. So if we could just open to the first page, property arrival. One of the things I'd like to note, I do have some images, but I was unable to get them in time. The neighborhood, Downs Path, and and along Wickapog in this neighborhood, there's quite a range in style, from a French country home to a modern farmhouse to gambrel shingle style to a quite contemporary home just down the block. So for this project, the directive was to design a home that is contemporary, that's forward thinking, but is still rooted in traditional language. So from the property arrival, we plan to arrive in the center of the property, and the first thing that we decided was to arrange the home in a very symmetrical way. You know, the home itself, the detailing is modern, but the idea was that it really felt almost like that traditional arrival. We didn't want to do something that was, a very strange composition at first. So as you then, if you want to go to the next page. So the house is kind of conceived as, at its baseline, starting with traditional gable structures. But what we've done was taking some features that you do see quite often in the Hamptons, dormer windows, and turned those into kind of these vertical slots in a rhythmic way across the center of the home.
And then on the two anchor gables, we have this feature that is it's somewhat of a riff on a bay window, but it kind of angles in on the bottom and angles out on the top to create something that's both functional and an ornamental feature that really defines the house and anchors it. And then the center, an entryway, is more of a recess in. It's not another structure in itself. It comes down in scale a bit from the two gable structures. And materially, the entire home is clad in, the roof is Alaskan yellow cedar shingles. The siding will be Alaskan yellow rain screen plank. The trim is, I think you should be able to see from the rendering, it's more of a recess trim that angles back, and that would be a painted barrel. And all of the gutters and leaders are concealed within the rain screen itself. There's a bit of a detail of the balcony, the bay balcony. And then as you move to the rear, the last page, the goal here was to really open things up and have a strong connection to the rear of the property, the pool. There's a plan to have a really beautiful garden in the center here. So that center volume is the main living space, and then you have this off to the left is a pergola outdoor living space. Off to the right is a covered outdoor dining space. So it all feels, very, very connected. So that's pretty much the overview of the design. I don't know if you'd like maybe to take a look at the site plan or the survey.
Okay.
So based on previous comments, I assume, we would need to come back with a more developed landscape plan here. But the plan, just so that you're aware, is there are existing 15-foot privet around both sides continuously and along the rear of the property, and then around 12-foot privet on the front. And we're also preserving some of the mature trees on the property, but all of that would be in the landscape plan that we would show you. But as you can see, the proposed entry from Downs Path is directly in the center of the property, with the entry, and then the garage off to the side, the attached garage. And in the rear, you see where it says sunken lawn area with planters. We have plans for this to be a really beautiful garden, have the pool a bit separated, pulled back from the home so that you create this additional outdoor space here. And then there's a small pergola to the north of the garden area. And then there is a sort of a pool house pergola between the tennis court and the pool.
Okay. So are you going to bring us all of that in the next meeting?
Yes,
the garage, the pergolas, the pool, right?
Yes.
I don't see any of that.
I'm sorry. Both pergolas are in here on A105. These are meant to read quite light.
I go from A104 to A110.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it's missing. I go from A104 to A110.
110.
So then A200, just.
What?
Get into it.
Oh.
102,
Yep.
103,
I apologize. I'm not sure how that could have happened.
easily. We've
Page,
seen-
pages,
a lot of people
pages stuck at the
come and
copier is
say
where I'm
that.
going on that
They
one.
Oh.
can't believe it happened.
All I know is we don't have it.
Yep.
Well,
it's
okay.
true.
Okay.
We
Why
can
do
ensure that you do have that next time.
Yeah, I'm like, I
We
see.
are.
Yeah,
Unless it's
at 104.
tacked on in the back.
That's some crazy.
Oh, oh.
110. Let's see.
No,
pages.
you're
No,
right.
no. Nope. There goes to A200, and then I end up at
It's just
A311. There's some missing
So we
pages.
can talk about the main house.
Yeah, let's talk about the main house.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm happy to refer to any of the drawings in detail here. I felt that the renderings give a better picture for.
That's a good. I think it's a good place to start. Okay, board members.
I think it's super cool.
Do you?
I do. I
Wow.
think it's super cool. At 315 Downs Path, I think why not?
I guess. I find it's like slightly scary.
A little
The-
bit. Why not?
Is that
This.
an architectural term?
I think the chimneys, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely some things in it you need to address. Like I think your dormers on the back of the house are outstanding. The way that they sit on top of those other glass walls, I think that's super cool detail.
Thank you.
I think your window to wall ratio you're gonna have to take a look at on that back volume of the house because even though you have beautiful mature trees and huge hedges on the back,
Mm-hmm.
you're still in a neighborhood. You're really in a neighborhood.
Right. Okay.
So that volume of glass is gonna need to be looked at.
Understood.
The rendering of the parking area looks enormous.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
it's just the scale and the view.
It
But
is.
It looks very commercial, and it does not look like a home. It
Yeah.
looks like you're gonna have
I
like,
agree with that completely.
Massive.
It is. It's just the nature of the way that this view was taken.
Yeah,
But you said
but
like
it
the
looks commercial.
welcoming and
Yeah.
coming
It
up
has
to the
to. I
middle,
know,
I'm
and I
like,
think that would also
what?
help really soften this. I think
And
maybe
then-
that's part of what's missing with this is
The
the.
pointy, oh my goodness.
Here's where I think people are going to disagree with me, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think
Those windows?
I think
Oh,
the
he likes
I think yeah, but I think they look contrived. I don't think you need the contemporary basic plot of the house and a contemporary structure taking sort of classic forms and making it a contemporary house, I think is working.
Okay.
I think the what's the word I'm looking for?
The diagonal.
Exaggeration.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
These warmers across the front.
Or like,
It's more successful on the back.
Yeah, and I just think they look contrived. I don't think they look necessary.
The vertical, the
Yeah.
full
Just the
vertical.
whole bump out. I can't think of the word. I'm having that night.
It's almost
That
like an
your whole
ideal
thing right here.
bay window.
If
I think
I
it's
wish I would have brought a view from the inside because it's quite
the
quite
inside
special.
we don't care
We're not
about.
allowed to
I know.
But-
No, I mean from.
But what I'm
if
telling
on
you
the
is,
balcony?
it looks contrived, and it looks like a step too far because it looks like you're trying too hard. I think you've got a house that has simple forms. I think the way you've got the detail over the windows to the left and the right of the front door sort of highlight the windows in a way that's appropriate. That maybe that kind of detailing repeated over these kind of windows may work better. But the way you've got these bump outs and the angles and the
princess and the
almost
window?
timbering on them, the way they work, it's just, I think it's too much. And it makes the front of the house look too heavy. It needs to be simplified. And we don't really like see-through houses. When I look through the front, I see all the way through the house. When I look through the back, I really see all the way through the house. So I think the amount of window-to-wall ratio in the back of the house is too much, which I think has already been commented on.
Could I ask why that is? I did hear you make that comment earlier about being able to see through the house. I mean,
When
we
you
will
drive
have
down-
a solid
yes,
door
'cause
here. Okay.
When you drive down the streets in Southampton, we don't want to drive by and see this huge light box heading toward the street from houses that we see.
Understood.
What
Okay.
we want to see, we like the front door to be obvious so people can find the front door. The door should be solid. But there's these large glass expanses that flood light to the street. It's a light pollution issue. It's just not, it's not typical and it's not harmonious with the other neighbors. And it has,
Right.
depending on the street, it also, from a precedence standpoint, in certain streets, it can really annoy neighbors across the street because you have all sorts of light pollution issues that come from it.
Okay.
The cement, it's a completely symmetrical house, which it works. and I think it's harmonious. I just feel it needs to be just pulled back a little bit, and almost the overexpression of, again, that same mirrored angle detail to the front door. If you think about that, that seems to maybe be a step too far. It's just this whole wood timbering situation or wood detail issue going on. I'm not sure is working.
Really?
Okay.
These heavy things. Yeah.
I don't mind them. I hate those the 4 tall windows
Yeah.
flanking the front door, but.
So-
it
so-
looks
I can
good.
offer you something on that, an
Well, I
alternative.
don't know if you're allowed to until the next.
Oh,
time.
I'm not? Okay.
Probably not. You could
Are you
flash it.
offering?
You could hold it up and flash.
What are you
it at
offering?
us.
Oh.
But that's
We
it.
got a let's make a deal thing going on.
No, the
here.
alternate
Yeah.
is here with breaking these up so that you
Oh,
have.
let's see that.
So that you
Well,
do
that's
have.
more user
I think that's
friendly.
I think that's better. I think
It's
that's
less
better.
scary, as I say.
Oh, well, I do agree that it brings down,
Yeah.
the scale, it breaks
Yes.
down the scale quite a bit
Yeah.
more.
Well, I think that's not your problem.
The
Yeah.
bay
That's
windows,
it.
that's what, these modern bay window situation on
commercial.
either side of the front, I think is too
They're
heavy at the
sort of
front.
like TV sets. I
Yeah,
kinda like
just-
it
That's
now.
the only
Yeah.
thing I have issue with,
What,
really, are the
bay
bays.
windows?
The bays. I
But
just want,
In the
underneath it,
front.
It looks like it goes in.
yeah.
It does.
Slightly, it's
Maybe
about,
also-
it's
maybe
about
also
creating
an
an
out on the
unexpected
top.
movement on, like, as
Well,
you
there's that-
see it from the
Yeah,
street.
there's that beautiful house down from Wyandanch where they angle in that way. It's beautiful. I just think when they're popped out as bay windows, I think it looks contrived and too heavy to me for the front of the house. If it's going to be simple, be simple.
Right.
And it's
And I
there's
think maybe rethink the chimney facing forward.
Oh, those are the scary part.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, being able
May
to
the
see.
force be
Like-
with you or
like
spying on
it's
you.
on the
It gives a
side.
bad feeling to me.
you mean the
See how
the
Watch
venting?
Watchtowers?
Yeah, the venting.
Yeah, is that what that is?
I think it's really cool.
You think it's
You mean to be able to see the venting on the
the two
front?
things on the top, like
Being able to see the chimney?
that's chimneys. That's what I thought. I don't know just where they are, how they are, or how dark they are, something.
Okay.
Well, let me have a question for you. Are they vented on all 4 sides? The rendering looks like they're only vented on 2
Yeah, in the
sides.
front.
Right.
So depending on your wind direction, is that a problem?
Oh, I don't.
We'll have to provide some additional detail there.
Yeah. And see on the back, and
it looks like they
maybe
vent
call
down
it-
as
like-
and
much
also,
as possible.
and
They're
also,
like this.
and frankly, they don't look the same. I think this may be a rendering thing, but if you look at, and next time, please number your pages. If you look at the page that says front and the one that says front corner, they don't look the same. And I think it's because the depth and the one that says front, unnumbered page that says front, doesn't match
Sorry.
sort of you get a sort of a side view on the page that's called front corner.
Got it.
Um,
Just trying to find this.
yeah.
Here it is.
So I think about the chimneys. Because they look
Yeah.
they look like they look like in the wrong wind direction you might have an issue.
I think
Yeah.
they break up what might
Yeah.
be pretty,
Yeah.
you know, the long,
And on the next page, which is called Bay Balcony, unnumbered page, Bay Balcony, they're a different color.
That's just the lighting from here. There, it's
Yeah.
it's really a it's a
From our
it's a
standpoint, when we look at it,
it's got to look
it's
the
a
same.
different color. Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Well,
so I think the other thing to think about when I'm talking about this big light box is in the back where it looks like the Apple Store, because you've got just that great big 2-story piece of glass. That needs to be rethought and brought down a little bit because that's just way too heavy, too exposed.
Agreed.
That's what I'm.
Would that be
Also, you
primarily
gotta
from?
way because you've got a center door, a center driveway, and a center gate. So you're
Yeah.
just like blasting
Yeah.
right out the middle.
Mhm.
Is there a gate proposed?
We're considering one, but that would have to be presented. We don't have one currently.
So that's a lot of feedback, but
In relation to the comment about the front parking area, I would just note that I see that you're pretty close to your green space minimum. If you are able to implement any of like grass pavement, that counts as 50% towards that, so
Right.
you can gain some extra credit that way and potentially reduce some of that concerns about excessive pavement.
Okay.
Something to think about.
Okay. Thank you.
and a full
That might
and a full
soften
landscape plan.
things a bit.
Yeah.
More structure.
It a little more green space into it would also make it look a little more residential,
Yeah.
a little less
because
stark.
It does have a,
Because it's stark, I like the fact that it's stark in its simplicity, but without the buffer of a little more green, it makes it look a
there's
little
no
commercial.
relief.
Yeah. But
Right.
your landscape plan may help with that.
Yeah, what I would say is that it's not fully developed yet, so we have ideas that are getting down on paper.
Yeah, that's a beautiful piece of property.
Would-
Do we have any comments from the public?
Well,
Okay. I'm sorry, did I interrupt you? I'm sorry if I did.
I just, so obviously these, what we're calling bay balconies here, they sort of are the primary features of this home from let's say from an architectural feature standpoint. And I know that the client loves them. So I'm just curious, I know that is there a scenario that they could be kept?
What
I
I can
don't
tell you right
dislike
now
them.
is, what you can tell you right now is, I think you've heard from several people
Uh-huh.
that they feel that they're too heavy and don't work. So if you want to come back with a different kind of
Okay.
to look at,
Understand. Okay.
we don't design that. We can't design the house. All we can do is comment on what
Sure.
they show us. So
Okay.
we can't say we wouldn't look at another alternative. But what we're saying is, what I think I'm hearing is, in the simplicity of the design of the house, when you suddenly, the first thing you see, these two heavy structures on either side of the
Mhm.
house, they actually take away from the location of the front door, and
Mhm.
that's part of maybe what's making it feel a little commercial.
Got it.
And I'm kind of hearing a lot of people that it feels too heavy and
The
too
majority.
contrived.
Okay.
So rethink it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You can be ready by April 13th?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to motion to accept the applicant's request for adjournment for 315 Downs Path to April 13th. Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and the materials will be due the Tuesday prior.
Okay.
So that would be, what's the date,
Pretty far in
Alex?
advance of the meeting,
Let's
correct?
see, so
So
by,
Tuesday,
for April
and then Monday
13th,
comes
It'd be-
out,
that's gonna
right?
be April
Huh?
7th
Right.
at noon.
Because
April 7th
the
at
public-
noon.
Hard
April 7th
copy
at noon.
And digital.
Okay?
Yeah.
Our next meeting.
I know. it's
Okay.
every week.
Yep. and
I
it's
got
gonna
it.
be The hard
Good.
copies and the digital.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Very
We
interesting.
look forward to the next
Yeah.
iteration. All right, so that brings us up to John Slattery, 60 Corrigan Street for an automatic gate.
Here's my friend.
We
Here's
have
our
the
friend.
affidavits. in
Hi,
there
you always
for-
come at the end.
Hi.
Guess you have
I
to.
do.
But you're so good.
One day,
You're so
there was
good.
there was a
One
meeting.
time
There
they
was a
did-
meeting. I moved into the
You're
front
so
recently.
good-natured about it.
Yes.
It's very nice.
There was a meeting where I moved into the front recently
Yeah.
because he's always.
Got a break.
You are always so patient.
Yeah, it
We're
was
always so
already
patient.
nice.
It's gonna be
Little- I don't think this
Really
is.
is. Beautiful house.
Yeah.
Where is your office, sir? Are you local?
I'm not. All of our work is here, but I'm based in
Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
This is our first home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Lucky. What a
I
surprise,
was gonna say,
sir.
you don't.
Are you sure?
I'm the longest one on here. I think, and I don't think we've done this before. So okay.
I'm the one.
Cute. I like this addition.
Yeah, totally. Got 5'10".
Is there a problem?
Oh, no, please don't have a problem for him.
Poor man.
He waited all this time.
Look, he gave us a little person and everything.
He waited. Crazy. He's always, he's my friend. He's here. He waits there patiently. He's good natured.
Always kind.
It's hard to believe we got somebody in here like
Oh,
that.
here, oh, here, it is the house. It's kind of cool. Last time, the first time I pulled this out.
He's good to
Oh,
go?
no, actually.
Yep, good to
It
go.
talks about, of 1967, this was celebrated as, in 1967, this house was celebrated as adaptive reuse of a barn and silo.
And it's exactly the same.
And it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
And in 1994, it was renovated as a historic house.
Still one good
Go
thing
ahead.
about
Don't
this
listen.
thing.
Okay,
Sorry.
so we got
Good night,
60
everybody.
Corrigan Street.
60 Corrigan Street.
What?
Unintended.
This
60
is at
Corrigan.
60 Corrigan?
Yes.
This is
60 Corrigan Street. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
This is Ramon Chavez from Halcon Gate and Fence in East Hampton, representing the owner of 60 Corrigan on the village in
If
Southampton.
you don't mind just putting that
So-
at the table and leaving it there so that we can capture it and our board members at home can
That's
see.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. For erecting a driveway gate,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
and I would like to hear your, you have the drawings, I would like to hear for any questions or anything.
It's just the size of it.
Okay, take me through. The color's white. The
Yes.
material's AZAC.
Yes.
Where there's no column. It's an automatic gate. There's no column. There's no touchpad. No gooseneck. No touchpad.
We plan to install in the column.
In the column.
In the column.
Okay. Are there street address letters?
No, not this
Okay.
moment. They not tell us.
Lights?
No lights?
No lights.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and the height, let's just get it on the record. The height is 4'6".
Yes, 4'6".
Okay, and the column height looks to be about 5 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. And your transparency looks greater than 40% to me.
40.36.
40.36. So, are there any comments from the public? Board members, any comments, any questions?
No, I think it looks
great.
pretty regular.
Okay,
You're on.
so I'm going to motion to accept the application. I'm sorry, Jane, did I interrupt you? I'm sorry. Jane?
I'm saying approved.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to motion to approve the application for 60 Corrigan Street based on drawings stamped March 12th, 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh,
Thank
good
you.
Have a good
night.
night.
Take care.
Bye, Ramon.
Bye.
Okay, with that, a motion to adjourn the April 23rd meeting of the Southampton Village Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.